All right. So last time, contrary to the first session we had, we actually did do quite a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff happened. So, who wants to do a recap of last time?
I can do it.
Very good.
So last time we arrived. Also, yeah, this is the desert backdrop now. I've got it.
Very good.
Last time we arrived at combat, a bunch of bugs were assaulting our friendly neighborhood wizard. We dispatched these bugs without a singular point of damage, I do believe.
Is that true? I think it is true. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. After dispatching these bugs, we looked around a bit, but then we went back to the crevasse, and after a bunch of athletic jumping, a very close to neck-breaking incident, we managed to make our way across with medium damage, spread evenly among the six of us.
Mm-hmm.
We continue into the tomb. Yeah, I forgot we didn't explore the rest of the tomb. That's fucking sad. We didn't even have a chance. Anyways,
Surely we can go back there, right?
Tragedy.
sure we can go back and find it at a later time.
I do believe you said specifically, quote, "We will come back for it on the way out," or something like
Yes.
that.
This is what the party told themselves as they find the four tombs of the first four kings of Mersine.
Mm-hmm.
After some historical puzzle solving with the help of what's his name, Frank, the archaeologist, the party opens a hidden staircase and descends deeper into the ground. After a, I think, long descent, right? It was very deep underground, wasn't it?
It was like a good, probably 100 feet.
All right. After a minute walk, the party arrives in a big, open chamber. Hassan looks around, finds that the ceiling and the floor are very, very far up and down. After reaching the middle pedestal, so to say, of this treasure chamber, they notice that there's a lot of treasure missing. There's some left, and there is a strange magical artifact looking thing in the middle. It looks very, very menacing. After agreeing with the archaeologist, who seems very charming and, didn't compulse us in any way, we help him, use the time pool magic item, of course. After which his eyes grow demonic, and the earth begins trembling. Our hands are locked in, and heat is starting to rise as I think a massive looking demon or devil starts climbing up the wall. Pablo, our probation officer, is engulfed in flames, demonic flames, and even with the party's help, he burns to death. Frank reveals himself to not be an archaeologist, but a scam artist in demon form. The party then makes a sprint outward, and with use of their skills, they make it out of the crumbling, soon water-filled temple. Additionally, there was a bird that flew out alongside the demon, after the demon.
Mm-hmm.
After the party makes their narrow escape, yep.
Yeah.
With a massive amount of water following the bird.
Yeah, a massive amount of water that seemed to be able to extinguish the demon flame. The party makes it out after a undeterminable amount of time and witness the destruction wrought by the release of the demon, who the party has assumed probably summarized is Asog, the ancient demon defeated by the first king of Mersin.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, our wizard friend, who I surely remember the name of, Gelashar, thinks back, uses his massive intellect to think about the artifacts that Frank seemed to pull out of the pillar, so to say. And he remembers that is one of the things I was looking for. The blade of Sharur, I think it was, or spear, mace,
The
weapon.
mace.
Mace.
Mace of Sharur.
And I think it's a part of it, right? Not the full thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's like it was the handle, probably, most likely.
Mm-hmm. It was the
It's a
mace
part of it.
called Sharur, not the mace
Mace
of
called
Sharur.
Sharur.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, tomato, tomato.
Sorry, I got the pronouns of the weapon wrong. I'll not do that again.
It's fine.
Alright. The party also realized upon scanning the horizon that, wait a second, didn't we live over there? As a giant pool of water is now formed up, and the party then proceeds into a sprint after a long day of adventuring, in which
That
they have
is true.
walked. Because
You
we
have-
started our day here.
Yeah, you started.
It's probably
your day
late by now, right?
You set out in the morning. Took you a few hours to walk over there. Everything that happened underground probably took like another 3-ish hours. I don't think it's too late. It's probably like the afternoon or so right now.
I mean, we can see the horizon of what happens, so it can't be dark at least. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, we can see that there's a giant flying demon, so.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's retraverse the hexes you've traveled. You've traveled 35 today. I think that is at your limit or slightly even further than it? Question
Yeah.
mark?
We will push it.
Yeah, we're pushing it.
You are pushing it.
We've got him.
Yeah.
Very good. So, adrenaline fueling you guys. Even though you're relatively tired, risking exhaustion stacks, you guys are going to run on the edge of this newly formed lake? Question mark?
Crater, whatever,
Pool?
yeah.
Crater of water, I guess, would be the most apt term, I think. You guys are going to run towards the place where your village used to be. Now, before you make that roll, I was going to say, do we want to use inspiration or recap XP for this campaign? Because I haven't decided, and I don't have any strong feelings.
I like
way.
inspiration.
Yeah,
don't
I like
care either way.
inspiration.
I'm cool with inspiration.
Alright, let's go with inspiration, then fuck my roll, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
It's not that good roll anyways, it's only like
No.
14.
XP is XP, alright? I just forget to use inspiration, that's why
I
I'm
feel,
against
I
it.
feel like over time, inspiration is just a little more clutch too. Like just in case something goes like really fucking dicey.
It's also
you can
more
keep it in your
fun,
back pocket.
really, it's like, what's more fun, having to situational advantage when you want it, or passive XP gain?
Yeah, it's the XP gain is probably better in the long run, but the inspiration.
Yeah, but
I
it's not
feel-
fun.
Yeah, the inspiration is probably more fun. We can do that. Yeah.
Especially for combat, if you're saving it for combat or like a crucial
Or like
roll on
RP
a
or
dispel
whatever,
or
like-
something.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just funny. Alright, deleting the XP recap macro.
An important saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it is force marching time immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So,
This could get bad really quick.
And we're
I already
moving at
have
a
a stack.
fast speed, right? We're hauling ass.
sure. So what's the slowest movement speed in the party? Is it 25 from Dale?
25. Yeah.
25. All right. So you guys travel.
25 kilometers daily, right?
Yeah. So you guys travel like fast pace 5 an hour. You guys can travel on the edges here. We can move through these hexes. So it'll be 3 hexes, which will mean I will want 3 hours of constitution checks from you guys. So 3 constitution
Could I use
checks.
my last bardic inspiration to motivate Shala to move faster, even though she is exhausted,
Sure. Yep.
since we are running in its fast? Alright, you have bardic inspiration 1d6 to your first roll, if you want to use it
Yeah.
before or after failure. But I think it'll run out after that, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
DC is 8, right? For the first?
DC is 5 for the first one.
Alright.
Whew.
So everybody just roll 1. We'll do 1 at a time. 1 con check. Wow.
That's not
Who?
Not Kilgore.
Oops,
no.
that was the wrong one, but they're the same.
It's fine. It's nat
It's okay.
17. Doesn't matter. All right.
But generally, we use the die, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's the wrong roll.
Yeah, it was the.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
Very good. For the first hour, fueled by adrenaline, as I said, you guys rush on. Even though you're exhausted, well, not literally exhausted, but kind of exhausted from your adventures this day. 2 more hexes to travel, though. This is a massive fucking crater. And you guys are just running for hours upon hours upon the edge. You're like Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli chasing the orcs. Alright, second round of con checks.
Let's go.
Never fail at checking our lives.
There we go.
And we look shala.
Bums.
Now you get the good roll. Alright, you guys continue running, and it is at this point, now you guys are relatively close by to where your village used to be. Why don't I have a perception check from someone in the party to scan the horizon? Or not the horizon, but you know,
See.
perceive
Can I look at, by the way, Gelashar noticed mentioned it something about the military camps. Can I see like any activity on the eastern side of the crater? If I make a perception check over there instead.
You can make one at disadvantage. You guys are kind of running
Alright.
away from that
Yeah,
area.
we're
It's
running,
like
but
you're
we're
looking-
running for like hours. So
Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point, I might look over and see something.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are like looking. You would be like looking
Alright,
past your
never mind.
shoulder. Yeah. All right. You don't really see anything yet there. All right. Shala.
I've traveled back this way many times. I know exactly. I'm looking out. I found this landmark. I'm looking out right exactly where the village should be. I'm dialed
Yeah.
in.
Do you have exhaustion, by the way? You do, right?
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's a
no.
14 out of 25.
It is
Very
a
unlucky.
14. That is true. You have 1 stack of exhaustion.
Shh.
But the
Should have
14
used your inspiration.
I'm feeling a spark of inspiration here.
Oh, really?
Surely.
Okay.
Surely.
No, Bardic Inspiration was last year.
Yeah, I think the Bardic Inspiration is gone. It only lasts for 10 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Only happened per hour.
Even with the 14, you can see that, or well, you spot the exact place where you remember the village being. You know, you've traveled the deserts quite a bit, right? That was your character's backstory
Oh, yeah,
pretty
the-
heavily.
Deserts, mountains, the hills, all around in the surrounding area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you definitely recognize, like, you see it, you can, like, visualize the exact spot where it would be in space, if you know what I mean. But it's, like,
Oh yeah,
not there.
relative to a landmark, yeah, I could be like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
I'm,
like,
I'm standing here and I can look.
Yeah, relative to, like, multiple landmarks, you can see it in your head that, oh, it should be there. But as was clear from even longer before, the ground beneath it seems to have collapsed, and there is only water. But the good news is that the village seems to have been right on the edge. The edge of the canyon seems to be like pretty close by to where the village used to be. And on the shore, the north side of the canyon, you see a gathering of people.
I'm
Hope
looking out.
resumes in Gazan's heart.
And I think I'm looking out and just kind of pointing and seeing. It looks like maybe some of them made it. I have to get closer to see.
Yeah.
There's people there though. Some
Well,
of them made
let's
it.
hope for the
talking
best.
and keep running.
Mm-hmm. All right, one more set of con checks for the last hour. Running along the shore.
Ooh, hopefully that's
You have disadvantage on these two, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you do. So that one is a fail.
Yeah, this one is a
Yeah.
fail.
Right there you are.
All right, Shala will
Well,
Unfortunately,
what's the DC on this one?
7.
For every hour, it adds 1. So the first
Yeah.
one is
So it
5, 6,
starts at
7.
5, goes up by 1 for every hour you guys are force marching.
So now I'm super slow.
Yeah, now you got 2 stacks of exhaustion.
But we made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that everyone?
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Very nice. All right. You guys run around the edge of the crater, and eventually you get close enough where you can see that at the foot of the hills over here, which you recognize to be like the north part of the village, roughly towards where the pond used to be. You remember the one that is the water source for Kuara, which was right north of the village.
So it like broke southeast of village. Like where's like the rift in the village? Because you said like not entire village, so like
No, the entire village is gone.
it's gone. Okay.
Yeah, but what
Good
I'm
thing we lived in the hills.
yeah, what I mean,
Yeah.
what I meant is that the edge of the crater is like
Yeah.
pretty close by to where the village used to be. That's
okay.
what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the village just like collapsed, but
Mhm.
like the village was the end. So okay.
Yeah, barely.
All right.
Pretty much. And yeah, at the foot of the hills and at the edge of the crater, you guys see this group of people, which you immediately recognize to be the various inhabitants of your hometown. There's a lot of them. Obviously, how many people were in the village? Was it like a few hundred?
100
or so?
something.
Wait, let me check just to be
Wow.
sure. In Kuara, there are roughly 200 people. Yeah. So you guys recognize a lot of familiar people over there as you're running towards the edge, towards the group of people.
All right.
I mean,
think-
yeah, I think that I at least disband from the group and you start looking for my family, my mother or my sister
Sure.
or my uncle if he's here.
Same.
Yeah.
Just drow-looking people. They shouldn't be hard to find.
Yeah, they shouldn't be hard to find. They're probably, struggling if they are out here somewhere.
Yeah.
The party splits up as you run over to this group of people, and you can see that everyone here seems to have evacuated very quickly. They've barely got anything with them. Like, some of them barely even have their clothes on, Some of them, like, were taking a, afternoon nap, and they've clearly been woken up, and they're barely wearing, like, anything on them.
Dios míos, my siesta.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys split up. You look for your family members, your friends, people you're closest to in the village. And you find most of them. But only most of them, because there are a few people missing. For example, the head clerics of the village, Rojo and Raja. You only find one of them. You find Raja, who is the female cleric of the village, but Rojo seems to be missing somewhere. Gelashar, your big sister, is missing. She does not seem to be here at all.
Shit.
Kazan, your little sister, is missing. She does not seem to be here at all. And unfortunately, Dale, Cletus, he'd be missing
No!
as well.
Cletus! Oh no, he's probably back at home. Living up in the
He's
hills.
probably
has-
drinking moonshine somewhere,
Yeah, probably back.
Yeah.
It's got to be what it is.
Well, as you guys, probably ask the most important, immediate questions. Is everybody safe? What happened here? Did you guys make it out? They tell you that pretty much everyone that has been accounted for seems to be here. But they do list a few missing people. And these missing people include the 4 that I mentioned previously.
All right. Well,
When I find my mother, I will hug her and give her like my cloak because she doesn't like being outside.
Yeah, you can find your mother. She is in the shade of a few hills, wearing 17 layers of clothing.
Yeah. It's just like fucking sumoed up, like, yes, I'm ready to be outside now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Shala is just like, she goes to her parents and collapses probably between her mom and dad, and she's like, I thought you were dead, and there was a demon, and they tricked us and used magic, and the guy he burned alive in his armor, and she's like, obviously like exhausted and just
Pretty
ready
appropriate
to,
reaction, I would say.
Yeah, like she watched this guy and like desperately tried to like pat him out and do everything that she could, and she had no choice but to just watch him fucking burn alive in his armor. Poor guy.
Yeah.
So I think she's out of commission for the day and just a heap of a mess, exhausted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so your parents are... What were their names?
I almost broke my neck.
Kacha and Zuma?
How could we forget?
Yeah. Well, your parents...
I almost broke my
Your parents, who are, like, they have a height difference about 1.5 meters, they console you. There's probably like a slightly different... There's probably quite a difference between the personality between you and your parents, right? Or am I...
I think the ranger character that I told you about, she's probably kind of picked up a little bit more off of her in terms of like the cunning and like trying to track things and mapping things out and being a little bit more systematic, that type of thing. Whereas like her parents, I think, are a little bit more kind of like rough and tumble kind of guard types and are a little bit more used to kind of more lawful duties, I suppose, rather than like hunting and survival all the time.
Yeah, fair. Alright, well... Gazan, you go to your mom.
Yeah.
And your mom, she hears your voice. She slowly begins turning around. She's wearing so much clothing that you can probably barely recognize her. She says, "Oh, Gazan, you've made it back.
Mother," and then I'll run up, hug her, and say, "You're all right. You're alive."
I am, but Mitzvah, where she was left behind.
Missing?
She was playing in her room, and everything happened so fast. You haven't seen her, have you?
No. I will explain it all later. We need to find her. But you're safe. You are fine. You're not injured at all.
No, I'm
under
not.
all that clothing. All right.
But your sister, she could. Oh, I don't even.
Don't worry. I will find her. All right. You do not have to worry about it.
All right. I'll wait for you here. Hopefully, you come back with her.
Yeah. I will escort her to Shala, who's breaking down, and I will. At some point after Shala is like, finish breakdown, I'll pull her dad aside and be like, "Hey, can you look after my mom?"
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, they'll do that. All
right. I guess I can go next. I would probably be quite shocked because the only person who I'm close in the village is missing. So I'll ponder for a second and try to locate any of the merchants he's been working with, and try to find any of them.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to start because you you know that your sister is a merchant, right?
Yep.
Who else is a part of your family?
Nobody in the village right
no
now.
one in the village right now. Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, you find like a merchant in the village.
Right. Hey, do you know if Nerilyn was in town today? Maybe she left for work. Have you seen her?
The man looks up at you as he's sitting down next to a cart full of like clay pots, and he says, "No, this entire cataclysm. How unfortunate! I was just coming into town to meet her. I think. As soon as I stepped into town, it's like I brought the wrath of the gods with me. This earthquake happened immediately. Half of my pots broke on my cart."
That might have been caused by something we did. But anyways, Shelby was in town, right?
Well, I don't know. I came to town to. I came to town to, do my usual business. I was looking to perhaps find her, but I don't really know. I can't say for certain.
Right.
Does she have a schedule? Do you know where she would have been at that time of day?
I mostly leave her day to day by herself. I probably would have maybe known. I'm not sure.
Well, why don't you give me an intelligence check, because you know your sister. What could she be doing at this time of day?
I mean, she's a merchant. There's a 50-50. She's like doing it, like trading in town, traveling herself. Like that's depends on how much attention I paid.
All right. You're fairly certain that she's just out of town on a trip to the capital right now. It comes back to you because she spoke about this to you recently. She's just literally not here, so lucky her.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks. Anyways. Take care of yourself. I need to go help my friends.
Oh, yes, sure, I suppose.
And I'll try to go find Kazan and say like, okay, what's the situation?
Well, my sister's fucking missing.
Why are we still here?
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. I'm waiting for Shala to finish her breakdown. Where did Dave go?
Yeah.
Dale.
Oh yeah, I went go looking for Daryl and
Yeah, you
Cletus.
probably ran into the fucking hills, or
Cleaner, where are you?
Cletus, where are you?
Yeah. Well, Dale, you run up the hills,
Yeah.
up a familiar path that leads you to your house on the hill. And
There's one hole cleanly around where my house used to be.
no. You do spot a familiar face, though, kind of at the edge of one of these hills, like somewhere up as you're like running up. You see Daryl, your uncle. He seems to be, peering off into the distance from top of one of these hills, and he's just kind of like looking out towards the water, and maybe in his own thoughts.
Hey, Uncle Daryl, you see what happened out there?
Oh, Dale, I sure did.
Ah, right, crazy. I never thought that of all the Fed boys I wouldn't be able to trust, it wasn't a Fed boy that I wouldn't be able to trust.
Well, you gotta
think
tell
this-
me what happened at some point.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You seen Daryl?
Cletus?
You seen Cletus anywhere?
No, that's what I came up to ask you. Was he working out in town this morning? Or this afternoon?
Let me get the old noggin working again. Let me think for a
You know
moment.
what? Why don't we go grab some moonshine? That usually helps you remember good.
Oh yeah, let's do that. You can walk back maybe
Yep.
50 feet.
Yeah. We grab a reasonable amount, only one mason.
Sure.
Just one.
Sure. You can grab a drink. You come
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
the edge of the hill. Plop.
Just sitting looking out at the lake. Something crazy in it. lake appearing out of goddamn nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, you remember Pablo? He's one of the guys that comes by every year, tries to steal all our money for the government.
Oh yeah, I remember that motherfucker.
He was actually the good Fed this time. Is that
No.
other motherfucker they had? Yeah, Frank, the archaeologist. Yeah, it turns out he's like some fucking demon man, and well, he made us release a big demon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's fucking. Can't trust the goddamn feds, can you?
It seems like you can't trust anyone these days.
I don't know. The people down in the village are pretty good. You just need to get out more. Should have listened to Cletus. You know, you go down there and help him more, you would see that, as a matter of fact, we can sell our moonshine to these people. They aren't gonna fucking pee in it and then try and sell it back to us, Uncle Daryl.
Well,
In
if
fact,
that ain't
I
the
bet-
truth.
I bet if you went and gave them some samples, you know, help them cope with the mess, they'd probably come back more.
You got a good point there, nephew. He takes a good sip of the moonshine, and he'll tell you that he was able to, or fortunately for him, he wasn't affected at all because your house in general wasn't affected at all. He just kind of felt like an earthquake, you know, opened the front door, walked out, and was like, oh, what the fuck's going on down there? At the
Ollie, there's a lake tail there
What
now.
they doing over there?
Yeah. now that he takes, you know, a few sips, he you know, it comes back to him. Clearly, a light bulb goes off in his head, and he's like, now I remember. Cletus. He was down in the village when this whole thing went down.
That's not good. There's several peoples from the village gone missing.
No.
Yeah,
Not
I
Cletus.
fear the worst. That would be terrible. I'll like take my hat off and like put it against my chest. We can only hope now. I'll keep looking for him,
I
but
suppose.
can't find anyone by like tomorrow or the next day. They might be at the bottom of that lake.
Ugh. Well, that would suck.
Yeah, but here, go start grabbing moonshine. I'll grab the cart. Why don't we go down the village and, you know, hand them out some liquid comfort?
Yeah. You can see Daryl kind of peering off towards the water. You can see that his eyes seem to be like fixated on something as he's like scratching his chin a bit, and he says, "See, is that something I see over there in the water?"
I don't know. Let me look, and I'll like go over to where he's standing on it. Shade my eyys. You need me to roll a perception check?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I spy with my little eye a little
I
something
don't
down
see dick or
yonder.
shit.
You don't say? I think I see
Maybe.
someone like small guy in the water. Someone's drowning out there. You don't see him?
Well, shit. I don't see him, but if you say someone's drowning out there, Uncle, you better go. How far out?
Check again. You can go right next to him. He points his finger, and you can you know, peer your eyes, and with the help of, you know, your uncle, you can see
Elevation.
that there clearly is someone in the water, you know, treading water, clearly not drowning, but, you know, like clearly, clearly in danger, struggling. You can, you know, peer your eyes, look closely, and you can see that it's either a gnome or it's a child. Someone small.
Oh shit. Well, shoot, someone's got to go help him.
Oh, someone's got to go quick. Looks like
Yeah.
whoever that fellow
I'll look.
isn't gonna last long.
I'll look around and like I'll grab one of the logs we haven't fully chopped up. There
Mhm.
probably aren't even like we haven't fully chopped up because I know that I can't swim, but I do know that wood floats.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing you can do if you need to go out into the water and you can't swim. You know, a good hefty
Yeah.
log that you
And I'll like go running down the hill with carrying this big ass fucking log, and then when I get back, I'm like, "Yo, there's someone drowning out the lake. I can't swim. Who wants to go out and save them?"
I look at Galashar, who's intelligent.
Oh fuck. No, so I can swim in there. Go help him. It's easier though. I think if you go help somebody, there's a high likelihood they will just drag you along.
Well,
with them,
that's why I
so-
brought the wood, because wood floats.
All right, now important question: where are they? And I run
I'll,
towards
like,
the shoreline.
Point towards where I saw
Alright.
them.
Yeah, give me. It'll be more difficult to see it from down here, but give me a perception check at advantage. You know the direction at least.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you see someone kind of just like treading water out, like maybe 200-300 feet out.
Shit.
Right, I'll.
Yeah.
Hasan, let's go.
Dale, you're strong.
Uh,
Come on.
I don't like.
Do you have any magic that can help? Because you're not really. Dale's probably
I-
more useful.
I have
Can he
wood.
swim?
Let's not debate this. Can you
Let's
swim?
go. Let's go. I can swim. Yeah.
Oh well, I can. So I'm relying on the log. You go.
I
You know.
Yeah. Sure.
Get him
Right.
back.
Like they're arguing. I just put the wood in the lake and like
Yeah, I think this is
Try
like
and
you're
figure
playing the
out-
winner. We're like, no, you go.
walking out, and then very quickly I can't touch the bottom,
Yeah.
or depending
Yeah.
on how
You
the
just like
actual
go like
form-
this.
Yeah, it's like
Gilshard, go.
Yeah. I'll just
flailing
like
your leg.
drop
Yeah.
my staff and all my things and start like
Yeah.
jumping in with like lighter
I'll
clothes.
shut around. Is there anyone else that knows how to swim?
I think
I'm going. I
Yeah,
grab
no,
the wood.
he's going. I'm standing
Yeah.
on the. I'm like not like going with you because I'm just gonna be like on the fucking. Like, yeah, I just shout around, look for someone else who can
There's-
swim. I don't know.
There's
Maybe the Rangers.
yeah. There's everyone kind of looks around to the people next to them, and no one
No.
raises their hand.
Come on.
Bro, think about it. Like you literally
Yeah, no.
live in the middle of a desert,
Yeah, I know.
and
To be
unless
fair,
you've been
there
in
is a pond. So
Yeah, there is a pond. No, I was going for like a joy swim. I guess no one has. To be fair, we drink from that pond, so like swimming in it would be kind of wacky.
Yeah.
I think
So,
I
probably
think
don't
because-
swim in it.
Wild.
because
Yeah.
it is your only water source. I think probably it's been
Discouraged.
very heavily discouraged to go swim in it.
Yeah, and
Some
then also
of
if
the-
you drown
some
in
of
the
the naughty
pond, you
kids-
fuck it even more. Yeah.
some naughty kids or some of the gnomes maybe will go skinny dipping late night in the dark.
Yeah,
over
we don't
there.
tell you. It makes the moonshine taste good.
Yeah,
Who
beach
knows?
parties with the moonshine. Yeah, that
No
sounds
wonder
good.
the water at the village always tastes like weird.
It's like
Yeah.
no.
All right, so
I,
who is going
Ball
out
sack.
into the? What do we want? Do we want to call this a lake? Because I can't
Sure.
think of a better.
It's a lake.
a canyon,
It's a
a canyon,
crater
basically.
lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Canyon.
is a canyon.
It's a
filled
lake
with
in a
water.
crater, right?
Like,
Canyon lake, perfect.
Who wants to go into
I'll
the
yell-
canyon lake?
I'm going with the wood. I ask Dale to help me with the wood. Okay, give me a hand. Let's get it in the water. Do you want to go
Sure.
with?
it's already in the water.
Yeah, no, he's like put it in. He's like ready to
Ah,
shove
shit.
it out. I assume.
All right. Do you want to
Yeah.
go with, or you stay here?
I mean,
think
do you
it's better.
need help?
I-
Can't swim.
Can you, I don't think you can do much. Okay, just
Okay.
go tell Ronan that they should be gathering up people. Okay.
Yeah. I'll
Uh,
go tell him to look out for other people.
Yeah.
And
I
do
start
exactly
pushing the log and swimming with it
All right.
towards where Kazan pointed it.
Mhm. So, Galashar, you can swim, can you?
Yep, I can swim.
You can swim. Very good. It's nice to have at least one person in the party who can swim. All right.
Yep.
So, with this log in tow, you take it and you begin swimming towards the place where you know that the person drowning seemed to be. But now that you kind of get into the water, you do lose your orientation a bit, like just for a moment. So why don't you give me just like a perception check as you scan like the surface of the water to look for the person you're going towards, because they do seem to be quite far away. It was like 200 to 300 feet.
I think I almost do a U-turn backwards at this point.
It's a good thing we have people on the shore who can keep looking.
Hey, where the fuck is he going? He's coming back,
Alright.
and they're clearly still out there.
Roll me a 1d4. All right. Well, you guys looking up from slight elevation, you know, Gelashar gets into the water. He's like almost like a medieval lifeguard, you know, swimming out into the ocean. But
Lifeguard log.
you know, the person drowning is in like this direction, but Gelashar starts like swimming 90 degrees in the wrong direction initially.
Galashar, turn left, turn left. No, your other left.
What the fuck? Where? I have no idea. I can't see shit down here. Okay, I turn my look back.
And I will point like towards the direction he's supposed to be going.
I'll try to judge it from this, like what, while swimming, and just try to like, okay, I take a hard left.
Yeah. With some issues, but you can reorient yourself to go in the correct direction. You've got help screaming at you from above.
After I reorient, I tell them, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen where he is, and I'll try to listen if there's like screams or any sounds coming from afar if I don't see him.
Sure. First perception check was for sight. Give me another one for, you know, hearing
Listen.
whatever's going on.
Not that much better. There's a lot of splashing and chaos, I guess.
Flashing and yelling.
It's there's some odd sounds coming from this water because constantly, like, somewhere there's like bloop 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 plop, and there's like a piece of like wood that just kind of like floats to the surface. Stuff like this. It's like a very weird situation because there's like clearly structures that have some wood to them somewhere below that have been like breaking, and then the wood is like slowly trying to make its way up, and then it's like dislodged, and then it like flows to the surface. So once in a while there's like these weird splashes that where there's like a piece of wood that just like floats to the surface. So that probably impedes your hearing a bit, but eventually, you know, slowly but surely you can make it.
Organizing with them on the coast, I can try to go this way, yeah?
Yeah, you can go towards the person drowning, and eventually you do get close enough where you hear, "Help! Help! I can't swim!" It sounds like a gnome.
I'm coming. There's a log here. Try to stay afloat, and I start swimming faster.
Oh, thank the gods! Why did I have to go down to the village today, of all days?
Oh, I realize it's okay, yeah.
I can't find you. I'm sorry.
I slow down a little bit, but I still keep pushing towards him. Okay, grab this one, and I'll push the log to him
Yeah,
and see
he
if it
grabs on.
can carry both of us.
Yeah, well, he's a gnome, so he just grabs on, and the log doesn't even budge. He just floats on it. Oh, thank you.
There was
Thank you,
room on the
Gelashar.
floor.
Oh shit.
I think you're the only person in the entire village who can swim.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck do you gnomes do up there. It should be. Anyways, let's head back. Dale's worried as hell about you.
Oh, is Dale okay?
Yeah, well, it's a long story. I'll tell it on the shore, okay? Just hold tight.
All right. Man, if that was like a few minutes longer, I think I'd have been a goner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they saw you from up high, from the hills. We had no idea you were here. And I'll keep swimming towards shore with him.
All right. Pulling the log, you can make it back to the shore. And Cletus, the gnome, is rescued. And, you know, you get a bit of applause from the people of the village.
I think they're more impressed that you can just swim.
they are
Ooh.
they're definitely impressed, like, oh, that's a skill? I didn't know you
That-
could do
that
that.
Is that a spell that he uses?
Oh shit.
It's like, oh, guys, he doesn't sink.
Oh.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
Magic. He's like a. Oh, fucking god.
You know, I get to the shore. I'm like, is there nobody a bit more physically oriented that could actually do this? Anyways, where is your sister?
Yeah, no,
Yes,
great fucking
awesome.
question. Why don't I ask? Hey, do you know where my sister is?
But
I asked
why are
some
we staying
random
here
little-
now? Let's go look on the
Yeah,
coastline.
no, exactly. All right, yeah, look the coastline. I'm gonna check in with my uncle.
Yeah, Dale, you can stay here. All right, I think we got this.
You tag along with him. You never know what came crawling out of that hole other than.
Oh, we
The big
saved
one.
Cletus, so this is obviously a cause for celebration. So we
He's
need
just
to
go.
go get more moonshine.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, yeah, no, all right. Check the shoreline. All right, you're the one that can swim. If you find my sister, she better be alive.
I can't see shit down there. Maybe you should look. I tried already checking. I can look
Fine.
it out, but
Well, if you go stand up on the hill over there, you can see real good.
yeah, that's right.
Uncle Daryl was
Okay.
able to spot Cletus
Fine,
from
yeah. I
Let's get up
think
there.
we
quite a
both
ways
go
away.
climb up the hill.
All right. As you're making your way to the path that leads up the hill, probably accompanied by Cletus, who's wrung out his clothes, and now he's just like rubbing his hands, ready to go up for a drink. But you're stopped by the cleric, Raja.
Roger.
Yeah. She tells you, not knowing that you've maybe noticed yet, but she comes over to you and says that Rojo, he is missing.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him, have you?
No,
Anywhere?
have you seen my sister?
Your sister? No. No, unfortunately. I have
No.
not.
See, one of those is an adult that can maybe take care of themselves. My sister is about 5, so it's not really a thing for her. So, as much as I would love to help you, you need to find my sister.
Understandable.
We were just going up the hill to look out on the lake
Yeah, if we
to
see
see
him,
if anyone's out there.
we'll find him.
I'd recommend if you're looking for someone, might want to try up there.
Understandable.
They might have been towed under.
I do want to give you some help for finding Rojo if you do come across anything that could be of use. I had a certain spell cast on him before everything happened. It is a spell we cast on each other every day. It is called Sacred Guardian. And when the whole cataclysm happened, I got a vision, and, well, the information I had in my vision from the spell was that he is safe where he is, but only for a certain amount of time, and he is surrounded by danger, and he is somewhere dark and hard to move around him.
Sounds like he's trapped in an air pocket at the bottom of the lake.
That could be. I know that when everything happened, we were both in the village temple. I made my way out, but I didn't see Rojo make it out of the temple.
I think it's also really quick during this time. I think Shala's parents also say, like, hey, I think I heard that Rojo is missing, and then they point over to Raja, and then I see the party kind of over there talking to her, and that's when I kind of hobble over, and I'm like, what happened
You
to
okay?
Rojo? Like, what? I look to the party, and I'm like exhausted, just
Yeah, no, I
haggard
was like,
looking,
you were-
and just like, I'm like, I could cast some
Shala?
spells, but I have cantrips, and that's it.
Well,
We are all kind of spent. Well, do you guys? Do we have anyone in the village who could do? Any clerics can do any water breathing magics or something like this? No, if I'm the only one who's swimming here, I can't really dive as well. So
Yeah. Raja is a cleric, and she is a very potent cleric, or relatively potent cleric. She has spell slots that she can use to cast water breathing on
a lot of people.
if you have time, it's a ritual spell, right?
I suppose hypothetically.
Yeah, on pretty much anyone who wants to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You go prepare downstairs. Try to find Ronan. Try to. We'll meet you and Ronan downstairs after we've looked around for anyone else missing. Okay. We can go down there and look for missing people, right?
Who's Ronan, I ask?
Ronan is the village elder. You know him.
Oh, right, that guy, that old guy.
So yeah, we'll go up there and we'll be back down in a few minutes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk, Shala.
Yes, yes. Fortunately,
Right. Look,
one
let's go.
of the few things I can still do.
Well, if he might have been in the temple, them rocks was big. I might need to go down there and help you. Oh,
Yeah,
Well, you
can
guys
walk down
try to
there.
find the cleric. I'm gonna fucking find my sister. So
Well, let's go look up her first. Maybe she's down there as well.
Yeah.
I'll ask. I'll ask Raja. Do you think it's possible he may be casting water breathing upon himself?
That could be. He does have ways that I suppose he could survive if he was down there somewhere, but as I said, from my Sacred Guardian spell, he seems safe for now, but apparently the longer it takes, the more danger he's going to be in.
I'll say okay and ask if he's trapped. I could perhaps move some of the earth, though I think if I'm going down into the water, I'll need some help taking off my armor. Just in case. I'll hold out my arms and gesture to some of my party members, like,
fine.
give me a hand. I can't, I reach over to one of my arms.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
No, I just very stressfully, aggressively just start.
You start
unarmoring
doing it. You go up there with Dale. I'll got this. Okay.
All
We
right,
come after
yeah,
you.
Fine, sure, yeah.
So we get my
Alright,
armor
walk
off,
up
and I'll
with
leave
Dale.
that
Yeah, I'll help
with
you,
Raja.
and I think the others go up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go up and I'll try to look for any sort of movement in the lake. And they'll, I don't know, look at the shore.
Alright, sure. Why don't I have a perception check from both of you then?
okay.
Both of them.
We're only rolling perception checks today.
Did I whiff? Nope, didn't whiff. Hey, can I get advantage on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Neither of you see anything further on the surface. But, Gazan, you don't see anything on the surface. Dale, you don't see anything on the shore. But Gazan, how well do you know your sister, in your opinion?
Depends. Like, I've been back here and I've talked with her, so I think pretty well. I don't know how many other young children there are in the village, but when I'm here, I probably play with her and talk to my mom.
Yeah.
Probably what I do when I'm here, yeah.
What does she, if she just has to entertain herself, what does she like to do? What do children
That's the
her
point,
age
yeah.
typically do? She's 4, by the way.
Go to their Uncle Venom. Yeah, I don't know. That's what the thing. I'm not very.
Playing
Yeah,
in her room?
Playing with
playing in their room.
blocks
Yeah,
or
yeah. I mean, I
little
assume we've
rocks or-
checked. I've checked like the place where our house used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think about it. I look towards where our house was before.
But you think about your house, and your house is probably like the most, extravagant and the best house in town.
It is the best.
It's made
house
out.
on this journey.
It's made out of the best stone masonry out of any of the houses. It's like not a noble house, but it's a very fine house. and you start thinking about, it's pretty tall, got like a few floors, and Mizva's room was at the very top. And now that you think about it, if there was one place that might be waterproof in the entire village, it's probably a room in your house. And Mizva's room was at the very top of your house. And
I have a plan. Yeah. So, you don't have to explain the whole thing. I think I got it after like the first half, but thank you for.
Okay,
I didn't know what the actual like architecture of my house looked.
Yeah,
if you sent me a floor plan, I'd probably figure it out
sure.
myself. But
Sure.
yeah, as a tale, I think I know where they are. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Alright.
I'll like sneak a quick.
I
Quick
barrel
swig of
down.
moonshine
Let's see.
before we
Hey,
go.
Raja,
Yes?
I think I might know where your brother and my sister might be. My house, our house, my mother's house,
Oh,
big,
very well.
might be up there. There might be air still left in there.
Okay, very well.
So let's go.
Well, in that case, let me grant you the ability to breathe underwater to anyone who's going down there.
Right.
And that is the question, who is going down there?
I'm going.
Is everyone going?
If I can breathe in the water, I don't have to swim.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm going if they wait for me, but I really want to go to
I think I've got enough
first.
liquid courage in me to do just about anything.
But if you can swim while we're like, depends on how far out it is, or if you know where I live. But you could go there and check for air bubbles without the water breathing, even.
No. If I
Or
have
we
water
can
breathing,
wait.
we can go. You can just.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
How many spells can you do fast? How many do you need to cast for a longer period of time?
I can give you the water breathing immediately.
All right.
Well-
All right. Sure. Give me it. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
down there, get a little bit more information, and head down
I'll
instantly.
tag
all
along
right?
with you. If I don't need to breathe, then drowning isn't really a problem, is it?
Yeah, just get something heavy so you don't like float. Okay.
Rocks.
Like, yeah, sure.
All right. Raja, the town cleric, will cast a water breathing spell on all four of you, granting you the ability to breathe underwater for 24 hours, which is really good.
Huge.
And just as you guys are ready to go down into the water to find Rojo and Mizva, Ronan comes up to you, the man we were just speaking about, the village elder. You know, he's
I know you.
he's definitely not the oldest in the village, but he is still kind of like the village elder because, he's respected among everyone. He is very knowledgeable, he's like a good leader, even though he's only like a human and he's 65 years old, and there's like a ton of people, even humans older than him in the village.
I mean, people trust him.
Yeah,
basically,
people trust him. And, he comes up to you in probably like all of this commotion, and he says that, I noticed that the four of you, I heard you're going down into the water. Is this true?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any information? My sister is in Givash, right?
Your sister, Nerlin, unfortunately, I don't know where she is.
Pretty sure she is, but right. Anything else you know?
Well, I was about to ask you for a favor, if it isn't too much to ask for. My precious library, if there's anything you could find in it that hasn't been completely damaged by the water, if there's anything you could recover, I would be very grateful.
Yeah, okay, human lies first, then libraries after, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I assume it's in your house.
Yes, of
Yep.
course. It would be in my
Yeah,
house.
alright, we'll find that. Gilshar, you know where he lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
All right.
Drawn it.
You guys
Alright.
head into
Yeah.
the water.
I double check with Shala, who's going to be swimming at a fucking movement speed of 5.
Well, I think
Because-
my idea would be like. I'm trying to think. Looking down this canyon or cliff, is this like a sheer drop where everything just completely dropped out? Is it kind of a slope where you could scale
No,
up and down it relatively?
it's one of those slopes where it's like you can drop down relatively safely, but to get up you have to do like a running start and then kind of run up it a bit and then kind of like grab on and then kind of pull yourself up, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because I think Shala could just walk underwater, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
going to
just
be very
walk.
slow.
Like getting up.
It's going to be very slow, but you only need to walk like 300 feet, so you'll be able to do it, but it's going to take like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I
And I
look
don't need to speak to Mold Earth either, so I can do that underwater if we need to free somebody up or move things around.
Yeah, that's handy.
So I
Alright.
think I'll mention if somebody could grab a rope or something that I could grab onto and be pulled up once we're done. I don't think I'll be able to scale this by
Yeah,
myself
I will,
without any help.
fucking.
to
I'll
get
look
down and
around.
up.
You have rope, right?
I had rope.
I look at.
Right.
Somebody
with a
around
rope.
here's got. Who's got
Yeah.
rope? Shala
Someone's
will
got a
yell
rope.
out.
I look at like the cliff edge that goes down. I'm like, Shala, could you like smoothen this out so my sister can get up?
I will start doing that immediately after yelling for rope.
Need some rocks too. A heavy one.
Now,
Yeah.
I did say that everyone kind of had to make it out very quickly. It's unlikely that anyone just happens to like, oh shit, my house is on fire. Let me grab one thing before I leave. That it just happens to
It's
be
rope.
rope. I'll say on a 19 or 20, someone has rope. Nope, no rope. No one has rope.
No rope. All right. I need a rock that can just hold, weigh me down.
Yeah, that's easy.
No,
All right. Good.
shit. I probably had all the rope that Daryl, Cletus, and I had. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, we'll just have to manage without. Maybe practice
Get
some
rope.
swimming motions.
Get rope again later.
Some what?
Just follow my lead in case something bad happens. We can breathe there for a long time. Just
Yeah.
faster
Yeah, so
we
can we
get, the
talk
better.
underwater with this, or how does it work? I asked Quadra.
No, unfortunately, you can't speak normally, but you can breathe without any issues. Yeah. All right. Even though you can't swim, if you can breathe underwater, then because swimming, the act of swimming is like keeping yourself afloat. But if you don't have any issues being underwater, then not being able to swim is not really even an issue. You can just like move around, like force yourself around. I don't know, like
Yeah, if
grab
anything, we can
things,
just like crawl on the
yeah,
ground
it-
like this.
Yeah, it's no not knowing how to swim is no issue when you're below the water. It's only
Probably
if you.
It's only
if
an
you
issue
have
to prevent
stay.
drowning.
Yeah, it's
right?
only an issue to prevent drowning if you're above water. Yeah.
I
All right.
think for like if you don't know how to swim though, you can't like swim at this normal speed, right? It's probably gonna be slower, right?
Yeah, I mean it's probably like.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be.
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be slower. Yeah.
Backpack full of rocks, just walking along the bottom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I used to have a lot of clothing on, and when it gets wet, I just like get weighed down by all of it.
Yeah.
I also have a rock.
All right.
I think you see
Ooh.
Shala's doing like a Minecraft thing every 6 seconds where there's like a 5-foot block of earth that just gets pushed down. It's like the one down, one over, one, and she's just like it's within 30 feet each square every 6 seconds is just like boop.
There we go.
And then after an hour, all of the earth that's excavated will slowly slip back up into the gap from the water and reverse the spell after it runs out.
All right, you guys plop down beneath the surface into the water, which is pretty dusty. I think, at this point, because there's been a lot of like violent seismic activity recently, so there's like a lot of like dust and sand everywhere floating around in the water that probably impedes your vision quite a bit. It hasn't like had the time yet to calm down and drop to the ocean or lake or canyon floor, whatever
It's
it is.
a lake in a canyon. It's still a lake. It's a lake.
Okay, it is a lake. Very well. Final answer, it is a lake.
It's a lake.
Yeah. All right. And very slowly, thump, thump, you guys begin moving on the lake floor towards the village. And as I said, it's probably like a 10-minute walk through kind of like this hazy water as you're constantly going like deeper and deeper, basically. But after like a grueling 10 minutes of like very slow advance, you guys begin to see kind of just phasing in through like the dusty water, like the edges and ceilings of some familiar looking clay buildings that many of them seem to have been very thoroughly damaged because clay, surprise, surprise, isn't a very flexible material. If there's any kind of material that would break in an earthquake, it would probably be clay.
Pretty brittle.
Yeah.
It's like a pot.
Yeah, pretty much. This,
Yeah.
Earthquake safety wasn't something that was taken into consideration too much when building this village.
We haven't discovered the tonic plates yet.
Yeah. Slowly, you guys walk and start getting into better vision of the whole village around you. And it's kind of like very eerie because you're in this silence beneath the water and you're just walking into kind of what's like an underground wreck or like an underground, abandoned village or something. But you know that everything's happened like just a few hours earlier. And now that you kind of walk in and you get into the middle of everything, it's not too big of a village. As I've said, it's like population 200. It's not too many houses here, but there are a few houses that I think you guys will want to visit, correct? Where do you want to go first?
My house.
Yeah.
Gazan is just running to his house, like walking to his house and not like taking anything else into consideration, right?
No. I'm walking towards my house. That's where they are,
Yeah.
surely.
Kazan is slow motion sprinting beneath the water.
Yeah.
Towards
It's actually-
Yeah, I'm doing the lean forward, like full Usain Bolt, like movement sprint. It's very,
yeah,
very slow.
I'll swim like next to you and then like wait for you to give me the signal it's your house so I can go check.
Yeah, remember, you guys cannot talk, surprise, surprise, beneath the water. So,
That's why I said waiting for a signal, yes.
very good. Alright, Kazan, you lead your party beneath the water to your house. What does your house look like? Why don't you tell everyone? All I know is that it's pretty fancy, it's pretty big, has like multiple floors. It was.
Yeah, so it was quite extravagant when it stood tall. When my father built it, he built 2 floors, mostly, actually. It's just one of them is very tall up. So the first floor is like a big room, like tall ceiling. And then there is a spiral staircase that goes up into a second room at the top that is windowless, where my mother used to live, but she, after my father died, and they had a new child, the new child took that as their room, since she is also mostly drow. So it's like maybe 30 feet tall all in all. And the second floor is maybe 20 feet up from the base. and it was, like the clay on it was similar to all of the surrounding earth, not like the clay, but the earth itself. It's not made out of clay; it's made out of the earth, which might be clay, might not be, a little bit of a mix. So it looks slightly different. And as if we find our house, the inside looked pretty extravagant, which like a bunch of textiles everywhere, like different kind of draperies in all manner of colors, like very circus-esque, a lot of different colors.
It's gonna be a floating fucking mess in there, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, you guys probably enter through the front door into the flooded house.
Yeah.
And you can look around and you can just like see floating items everywhere. Everything's like it literally come off the shelves. Most things have like broken, like there's like shattered glass everywhere, shattered clay everywhere.
There's way too much ripped tapestry that should be in any house at any time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything that, now that you have come to your house, is there anything that you remember that you would like to fetch from here now that you are down here? Something that could have survived like water damage?
Well, I don't really live here. That's the problem. Like, I've been away from home. So if anyone would want anything, it would be something my sister would have. So I don't even think about items right now. I just think about, oh yeah, okay, there's upstairs, and then I will like go towards the staircase and like climb it slowly.
Mm-hmm. All right. Assuming the rest of you follow Gazan as well, you guys can make it up the spiral staircase, and you can make it to the floor where you know your sister's room is on. And sure enough, your sister's room, the door is closed.
I think I stand at the door and I wait for Galashar, and I'm stunned out because I don't know how water physics works because I don't have an education.
Yeah, I'll probably like come up to it and knock on the door, like see if there's anyone inside. And if somebody tries to open it, I'm gonna stop them, basically.
Sure. You knock on the door. Give me a perception check to listen in. More perception checks.
Ear up to the door after knocking.
Yeah. You knock
I
on the
think I have
door
hearing issues.
and you put your ear against the door, and very, very faintly you hear like a bit of crying inside. Some sniveling.
I'll listen. Do I hear any other sounds or just the crying?
Only the crying.
Nobody else. Okay. How deep is the water in this place? And
It's underwater.
Like, we're completely flooded, right?
Mhm.
How deep are we below the surface?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, this is relatively high up, like from ground level.
Yeah.
So I would
Let's say ground level then, and then we'll add like 20. That's probably where we are.
Yeah. From where you are, I would say maybe like 40, 50 feet below the surface.
I'll turn around and look at Shala, and I point at like the walls, and like gesture
I'll
like
just
this.
I will just like start kicking the wall opposite, like the backside.
I want
my
to look
house.
really quick. Like in the collapse here, surely there's something that's like fallen apart. Is the roof fully intact here? Is there like a gap that we could feasibly like swim up through and take a shortcut instead of going like all the way out?
Yeah,
out the
alternatively, yeah.
door?
Is our
Yeah.
this
so
room we're in right now, the top.
This is probably
just
like a
like
hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, the top stairway. It's probably like. Hold up, I can paint it. Probably what I
Yeah.
imagine it looks
But
like.
what I was about to
there you
say is that this entire house seems to have survived relatively well. There aren't like there isn't like too much damage. the way you could make it out from here is like there's obviously like a few windows like right next to you.
Yeah.
Like the hallway.
Yeah, there's probably just okay. So yeah, that's what I was asking. So if let's say the circle there is the staircase, then the thick black thing is the door. Are there any windows or holes up here? Because I don't think there would be windows on the top floor at all. Like even here.
Wait, so can you reiterate?
So okay, this is like a top-down view
Mm-hmm.
of like the room. That's the spiral staircase that goes up. You go up, and then here's the door to the room that we can't get into.
Okay.
So we're like
yeah.
standing around here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if there are windows here or not, but I want to check like if there's anything that is not noticeable that is compromised. Like, are there windows here or not?
Sure.
If you don't want to decide, we can also just roll for it, for if my dad built windows here or not.
Yeah. In this kind of room, I would agree it's doubtful that there's just like windows anywhere. But there might be some structural damage that could maybe be broken down.
Well, you would probably have a window, right? If you had a room
Well,
up
if
there.
you-
and it was
No,
completely
because
closed.
we're drow. The whole point is like we don't want sunlight to come in to the top
And the
floor at all.
issue is if the upstairs is structurally like sound, there would be an air pocket, right? And there is no air pocket, so it's probably the room is the only air pocket, right? Because if it's upstairs,
That is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
So
might be
there's no air
small.
pocket.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
so
might
if you
just
open
be
the door,
because-
if you open the door, it's gonna be just like water flooding in most likely, because it's not
Yeah, but we
structurally
don't know. Like
understandable.
it might be slow, right? Because this room is this size. The other room is way bigger, like something
Mhm.
like this probably.
Yeah.
So if we do that, water's gonna come in slowly. We also don't know how much air is left in there. So if all of us start breathing it, we might get oxygen fucked real fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
think. I mean, yeah, I will just.
Well, to look around and perhaps find some structural damage, why don't I have an investigation check? As you investigate the walls for potential structural damage. Who wants to roll?
Reference here? Here's the psychic.
Investigator.
So we can just point at this. This is the side view.
Side view?
Side view. So that's like now we have top and side.
Oh, okay.
So because I'll just like walk over and I'll start like kicking the bottom half of this wall here
Mm-hmm.
outward, and I'll just look at Shaw like, and then I'll think about it and like not want to open my mouth because I don't know how water breathing works.
Wait, what are you gesturing at? for me? I'm
Here,
sorry.
like I'm just like kicking this wall down here very like slowly because we're underwater. You can't kick very fucking hard.
Oh,
underwater
to
sometimes,
like
yeah.
open it?
I guess.
Yeah, that's what you're kind of signaling. That's what
Sure.
I'm getting out of it.
go
Yeah, I'll do the motion that I've been doing with my spell, and
Yeah, I'll look at Galashar who's
can't,
just fucking like
yeah. It has
climbing
to be
around.
loose.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Oh,
trouble.
it doesn't
with
work on it. Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, it can.
It
the
could be
spell
like a
can't-
pile.
Yeah,
it
the
could be
spell,
a
yeah,
pile
can't,
of
the spell
stones
can't
or-
like break down any walls or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does someone want to give me an investigation check to look around?
Yeah, it's a
Oh yeah,
Galashar
yeah.
probably
Sorry.
good.
Yeah, I forgot I'm the investigator. My bad.
For a quarter.
Damn, in some other universe, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
In the
Stressful
recap
situation.
universe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you look around, and this is like probably like the top floor, right?
Yeah.
Xander? Yeah.
Yeah.
You look around, and you can see that even this top floor, even though it looks waterproof, it's not, because even this top floor right here, this small area, this like staircase room, is also completely filled with water. And you can look around and you can see that there is like a crack in one of the walls where the water into here seems to have come from. There's like
Sure,
a
Steve. Magnificent floor plan.
long crack in like the rock of one of the walls.
I like float a bit back, and I point at this one, and then I point at Shala like, and try the gesture like this to the wall at her.
Look at Dale. Does he have a weapon on him?
Yeah, got.
Alright.
I think I used my sword for ballast.
Yeah, I think I like grabbed the rock that I was like we were carrying around so we wouldn't like float, so to say. And I just go look at Galashar like, I give the rock to Dale, and then since we're underwater, I can probably lift Dale under here, and I will just lift Dale up to where you were pointing.
I'll start hitting the wall with the rock, trying to break it down.
Sure. Give me.
I'm guessing that's what.
Yeah,
that
I
means.
think that's the assumption. I think both you, Gassan and Dale, are both equally confused as to what we're actually doing here.
Yep.
I mean,
I will look for
Like I don't know, just
I think what I'm
what
worried
we'll
about
do.
is like if there's a crack that starts that goes into the other room. I want to just pay attention to that while I'm
Sure.
carrying him.
Yeah. No, that it seems to be clearly like right on the other side of the. If like the door is here, the crack is like on this side of the room.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so
Alright,
no like big like fucking like Ice Age looking ass like when he puts the A card in, it cracks across the entire fucking ice field thing. So nothing like
No.
that happens, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, Dale, give me a strength check.
Okay.
As you're smashing the rock against. Ooh. All right. It's a big, sturdy rock. You took it down here to like keep you down underwater, so you wouldn't float upright.
Yep.
You smash this rock against the wall, and every time you smash, you hear like a small kind of like a chip or like a like.
Yeah.
And you can see that the crack in the wall, like very slowly but surely, starts getting like longer and longer and longer. And you keep
I
smashing
prepare
at it.
myself. I'm holding my spell to be ready to push the loose rock out into the watery expanse outside the house.
Okay. Yeah. Gazan doesn't feel any regret smashing up his father's house.
He thinks about it, but right now he's mostly worried about, like, he thinks about it like his father's building saved his daughter, so, I think he's happy about that, at least. So I don't think he would mind too much,
All right.
He does feel a little sad because this is the house he grew up in, but it is also underwater, so I think he felt that sadness when he walked through the first floor and saw all of the, like, shit, like all of his childhood memories in water now instead, just floating around.
Yeah.
So I think he's a bit past that point now.
Yeah, that's fair.
While they're smashing, I'm gonna like swim downstairs and try to look something like, is there anything big wooden floating that would be like similar to like the log I had before. I want to get something up to the shore, like up to the top of the lake that floats basically, because I'm pretty sure the child can't swim.
Yeah, well, this is a relatively fancier house than others. It probably has like a lot of wood used to build it as well, right? Because wood is like a rare, expensive
there's probably
material
wood
here.
there and there. There's also, there's probably tables and shit that might be made out of wood.
Yeah, probably like a tabletop or something. That's probably something fine.
I'll like kick the legs and then I take it outside and like watch it float up to the surface if it does.
Yeah, it's wood. Yeah, it floats. It's definitely, yeah.
All right, after I've done that, I go back upstairs and check what's going on with the crack in the wall.
All right. Well, meanwhile, as Dale is smashing this rock against the wall, maybe on like your 40th or 50th smash, you hear like a...
I think, I'll have let this over and I'll be like, we're standing here a while. I'm just standing here. I'll just do this to Shala. Just do this. What's the response?
Beckoning
And then
over, so I come
Yeah, okay.
over
And then
to
I like
you?
just lift Dale over and put him on your shoulders instead.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then I just like walk back to the door and I try to like listen for any sounds in there, like either water rushing in or like sniffling anything.
It was someone else who listened in earlier, right? It was,
Yeah, someone else listened in
it was
earlier. Yeah.
Galashar. Okay, yeah.
And
give
right
me-
now I can also underwater just hear the thung, thung constantly, so
Yeah,
it might
I
be a bit
was-
hard.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
But if
give
I
me-
heard rushing water in, I doubt that I probably would hear. But it's mostly that I'm listening for.
Sure. Just give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
You do
Thung,
not hear anything.
thung.
All right. As I was saying, on maybe your 40th or 50th Smash Dale, you deal the final blow to this wall, and it just kind of like shatters for good. You send bits and pieces of the rock flying everywhere into the water, and you pretty much create like a big hole in the wall.
Perfect.
Alright.
Job
I would like
complete.
crawl out of it and see like you can stand on the roof somewhat, right?
Yeah, the roof is like
Yeah, I will like
just
go
above.
outside, like swim around the roof of the other room and just like look around to see if there's any like structural damages in there, to see if like rushing water coming in would like crush the other wall. Like if it got hit with like a lot of water at once, would like the other wall at the front of the house opposite of the staircase like collapse and also break.
Mm.
So I'm looking for any structural damages on the outside.
Sure. Yeah, that's reasonable. It seems clear to you that Mizva's room isn't completely filled with water at this point. I think you kind of
Yeah, we figured that out.
figured that out.
I don't even know if there's
so-
any water in there.
Yeah,
but,
so if there is water going in, it would be like a very small amount. So it's going to be difficult to find.
that's not exactly what I'm looking for, because I know the entire room's not filled with water. I'm looking for the back. Okay, so let's see here. This is where the staircase is. On this side of the wall over here,
Mhm.
like the front side of the house, does that look brittle and breakable, whereas a wave of water would crush it?
Maybe.
Alright,
I don't know for sure. I'm not sure.
alright, yeah. No, if there's no structural damage, there probably wouldn't be. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking for, really. All right.
Yeah, sure. Just give me an investigation check as well to kind of
Yeah.
like look around.
Investigator.
Investigator.
All right. You kind of like feel around on the walls, and now that the smashing is over, and you're kind of like, you know, making sense of the wall around you, and if there's any possible damage to it, you do find a very small crack, and you can put your ear up against it, and you can hear like a very faint flow of water kind of going into the room below.
All right. After finding this, I will, crawl or swim on back into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Do a, splash entrance. Do like a comedic landing when I get in, like way over the top land, and then see Galashar there, who's probably just like,
Waiting,
fuck,
yeah, what's going
yeah, it's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I point at like the hole and then like
Yeah.
up and gesture like this.
Yeah. All right.
And I stand at I go
Yeah.
outside the hole in the wall, and I like float on the other side of the hole basically, and just
Yeah,
look
alright.
at what's happening
Yeah,
next.
I will hold my hand out to Shala as if to grab it, like, and then I will like guide you out and just place you like at the roof here above the hole, and then I'll motion for you to like do this, and hopefully you might understand what that means when the time comes to it. And then I'll walk in, and fucking I assume like I don't think any of us probably would know this because none of us have like dove in like watery areas before, so
Mhm.
we don't really understand like that the door is fucking hard as shit to open right now.
Door
Yeah.
stuck.
Door stuck.
Yeah.
There's something I could do to like really clarify the plan, since I am unspoken. I have a knack for conveying ideas
That
without
is true.
speaking.
That
So I
is
think
true.
you get me up there and I go through all of these steps with like a
Yeah.
charade where I'm like, 1, you open the door, water rushes in, there's chaos, and then I point like 2 to the rocks, and then I make the gesture of my spell with me like pushing all of the rocks out so they don't just like spill into the room.
I'll
So,
grab
like,
Dale and like push him
yeah.
up.
Yeah, so I'm just like, so I point inside, so I'm like, I join my hands and reach towards the thing, and I'm like, and I point up towards the surface, like I'm pulling you out. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
just like, I'm here to pull somebody out, is what I'm gathering after that clarification. Perfect.
Up and down, yeah. And then I go to the door. I look at Dale, who's a beefy, strong man, and I just go like, all right.
And
Perfect.
I've got like
And then
One
we
foot.
together like try to pull
Yeah.
the door open.
We're all charading at each other. It's
Yeah.
great.
The charade is fucking great.
All right.
pull.
So,
How far down underwater would you say we are?
I think I said like 40 feet from the surface. Yeah,
40 feet.
We're gonna kill my fucking. We're gonna kill my sister by pressure fucking. By pressure
How?
fuckery.
Depends
Alright,
are
submarine boy, let's
Well, I
not get
think,
too in depth with the
well,
fucking pressure
yeah,
differences
well, I
here,
think-
alright?
I think what more than likely, realistically, what's going to happen is just all the air gets pushed out, and you guys are going to get fucking vacuumed out to the surface like instantly when the seal's broken, right?
Not necessarily.
Is that what
So
happens?
No?
We'll get torn,
It's-
right? Between the water
it's
pushing
kinda
in and the air.
Really, I just want to point out that 40 feet, we're looking at about 20 pounds per square inch for just the pressure. And how big
Sweet.
is this door? Like probably, let's call it 3 feet by
3 by
6.5
like
3
6
feet by 8, 6.5.
The room-
Yeah, three by 6.5.
Yeah. So a few things. The room is very big. The door is probably normal door size, but there is one thing I'd like you guys to remember. Gazan did find
Where was the crack
on the other
in
side.
the ceiling?
So
On the other side.
Yeah. So,
How high up?
Let's see. Let me.
Yeah.
So
I can move it more right if you want to paint on the right side.
yeah, sure. Let me.
Oh, yeah, because if it's super high, then it might not break.
Yeah, if it's super
instantly,
high,
right?
then yeah. If it's
Yeah.
low, then the water won't like immediately pump up, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is like this rectangle here, next to the line on this side. This is this square right here is where you guys are. This rectangle is the room.
Yeah.
The crack is like over here on the ceiling.
Ooh, oh, it is on the roof. Ooh,
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that you guys do know that there is water going inside, but the thing you guys don't know is how much water is or how much water there is inside at this point in time.
Yeah, and if that's a roof, then I think at least the people that have worked with like bottles, like Dale and probably, I think everyone except maybe Shala would probably know that, like, you know, you put a bottle in water, it's like, oh, it's funny, like the air stays in the bottle, and then you turn around and then it just instantly gets filled up.
Mm-hmm.
Or if someone has like punctured something and then it's like it fills up instantly as well. So I think we know something about like, oh shit, if we open this door, this room is gonna fucking.
Also, the
instantly flood
likelihood
up.
that we can open the door very
That,
low.
oh yeah, that even
So-
if we get the door open, we're not.
Few
Yeah, what I
assumptions.
imagine happens when we pull is just nothing happens.
Just
Yeah.
few assumptions. 20 pounds pressure,
Yeah.
and then it's 3 foot by 6.5 feet. We're looking at 56,000 pounds.
Yeah, no,
On
it's
that
already
door.
done like in real
Holding
when we
it
never
shut.
opened it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is no way we're opening this outward. We're gonna have to break it. Probably is what we figure out.
Yeah. So, why don't you guys give me some combined strength checks?
Sure. By combined, you mean just
Yeah, just both of
Just
you
roll
roll.
strength.
Yeah, just both of you roll strength. Yeah, that's right. Very good. Very good.
I don't know. He rolled a 20. I think he can bench press 5.5. What was it? 5,600 pounds.
He can lift
no,
the truck basically.
He can lift the
56,000.
truck.
56,160.
56,000. Yeah.
All right, you guys
Even
take
better.
lungs full of water. You guys put your hands on the doorknob. You pull with all your might, both of you, and it doesn't budge an inch.
Door just fucking move.
Yeah.
After like a few seconds of pulling, I can see Dale's about to pop a blood vessel. I can stop him. So it's like,
Probably almost ripped the door handle off.
yeah, maybe.
How long are you
I
guys
think-
doing this for?
Yeah, I think after this, I'll just like go outside, look for Galashar, and be like,
I'm at the
Yeah.
hole. I just float in.
then what weapons do you have, Dale?
Right now I only have my big ass sword on me.
Yeah,
Did I keep the crowbar though? Crowbar is a key to the city.
True.
I did not keep the crowbar.
Alright, the rock. We still have the rock.
Yeah, I still have the rock.
I just go like I show Galashar that we can't open the door by just like pulling it like this, and it's not fucking moving.
Yeah,
So I just like pick up the rock and I go. And then I give the rock to Dale and I say, just gesture at the door.
I start banging on the door.
Yeah.
I'll start low.
Yeah, you are the correct height for it. So
All right. You start banging on the door.
fucking
We can use
pressure
the
itself.
same.
Probably.
We can use the same strength check here. And the issue here isn't breaking the door. The issue is probably what happens after you break the door.
Yeah.
Um,
I assume Galashar, by the way, goes back out, right?
yeah.
So he's
I'm
not
go
in
back
this
to ready.
fucking vacuum sucking hole.
Yeah, I'm outside, like floating a bit away from the hole, so I'm not in the vortex.
yeah.
So
You
We're
start
not
breaking down the
certified.
door.
So
What
before
do
he
I
breaks
have?
the door, what I'm ready for is I'm just ready for like the door to break, the water to flood in. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go in, grab my sister, like tell her like, all right, you gotta hold your breath real fast. That's like my plan right now. So that's
Yeah.
what I will do
Yeah, sure,
unless
that's
some
fair.
other memory happens. Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, depending on how much air there is inside, you're probably
Yeah.
going to get sucked in, or anyone
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah. That's what my character mentally thinks. I, out of character, know. Woo is probably what's gonna happen
I mean,
when the
it
door.
depends,
fucking
like,
blows.
if-
Depends. Yeah.
If you break the, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. If you break the bottom, it'll just be the water. The water probably just goes up faster, right? That's the only difference. But
Mhm.
if there's no air, like, yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Roll me a d10.
Oof.
a D10.
If we're rolling for like percentage of room filled with water, this is not terrible to be honest.
Maybe. All right. Dale smashes the door. And similarly to the wall before, you smash the door. It shatters. And for a brief moment, you feel kind of a tug. as there is like water that immediately kind of floods inside, but maybe after like a second or two after you regain your composure, you can see
I think
that
with this tug, I'm gonna try going in instead.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not resisting. I'm like going with it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm just saying, as soon as you regain your composure, it only happens for like a second, because you can see that the entire room is actually filled now with water. You can see Mizva's room inside, and she seems to have climbed on top of her bookcase. She is like all the way at the like ceiling of the room. She's like sitting down on top of her bookcase, and you can see that this room probably a few moments earlier was probably had like this much air left at like the very ceiling, and she was just like over there. But now it's like completely filled with water, and she is just completely panicked, eyes wide, and she's looking obviously directly at you, Gazan.
Yeah, I will crawl up. I will go up, grab her, and then just like haul ass out, like shoot myself up the wall, and like just crawl back out basically. And then once I'm out, I will just shove her up to Shala, who is standing on the roof, to like rocket her up, because we don't know about the pressure shift in here. So time to rupture some eardrums, boys.
Yeah,
But yeah, I will grab her, and then just basically no time to talk. I'm just gonna action, just shove her up to Shala, who can shove her further. And then I assume Galashar is ready to swim up with her.
After the vortex has ended, I'm probably gonna go closer to the hole.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a 4-year-old is tossed into your hands, Shala.
Yeah.
And I will pass to Galashar. He's ready by the hole.
I'll grab her and try swim as fast as I can up. Try to see if I can see the table, board of the table, and try to aim for that. But directly up mostly.
Yeah, it's somewhere there. And because you can swim, you can make it above water. Splash. And you hear the wind once again. You make it above the surface. And Mizva, who is Gazan's 4-year-old sister, takes a deep breath, and now that she has air in her lungs again, she can, start crying, and she starts crying.
I try to keep her like on top of the waves and try to look around for the table.
I was like, whose child is this? I assume we can probably like fucking dog paddle up or whatever the fuck. We can get up somehow.
We still have one more person to save.
Yeah, but he's not in there, and I kind of expect him to be there. Like, I assume there was no one else in there that I noticed, right?
No.
I think while we've been working on all this, and Shala's been waiting for the little kid to get passed up after they broke everything down, Shala's been thinking, like, where would Rojo be? Like, is he probably at the temple?
Yeah, well, Raja did say that he was last in the temple when it all happened.
Okay.
Does our temple have a catacomb?
No, I think everyone's buried above ground.
Alright.
Yeah. I don't think you guys can doggy paddle up to the surface because you guys can't swim. But, I mean, Galashar and Mizva successfully make it to the surface and basically to the table that's on the surface. And, well, Galashar, you can definitely just, like, pull the table and
push it to the shore basically and tell her to it's all right. It's all right.
Push it to the sure.
Your brother came to save you. You're fine. I'm gonna take the safety and just.
All right. She probably
like push her while she keeps crying. Yeah.
Yeah. She probably doesn't really even know who you are. You're probably just like a scary adult. She probably asks like, "Where's my brother?" And that's the only thing.
Stranger danger. She dives back into the water.
She's like, boop. I said, he's fine. He will come for you soon.
Mama said, "Don't talk to strangers. Don't go with him." Yeah, she dives into the water.
Definitely don't get saved with them while drowning. Yeah, I assume I from the bottom can just see like the board just floating and like Galashar probably pedaling.
Depends on how bad the
Somewhat,
visibility is, but
The
yeah.
visibility is pretty bad, but you could probably
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
probably better
yeah, I
the
mean,
further up I am, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the sunlight is obviously coming down. You can at least like see the shadow of them like moving on top of the
Yeah,
surface.
yeah, that's pretty much all I need to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
go down. I'll just give it thumbs up to both of the homies, and then I'll just point to shore. And I assume
You
the
point- you
slow
point to-
trudge begins.
Wait, you point to shore? I hold my holy symbol and I point over into the direction of the temple.
I point at like the shadow moving away. The one party member that can swim.
Oh no.
I point towards
I
the shore
sure-
again, and I like jump off the building and just start walking towards shore. And hopefully they are coming with me.
Yeah, I'll go with him. I think I get what he's picking up, what he's putting down.
All right. Well, before the three of you make it back to shore, obviously, Galashar makes it back to shore with Mizpah. Gazan's mother is there waiting for her daughter, and they will be reunited on the shore. They're both very
She's
happy
gonna be
about
afraid
it.
of water forever.
Yeah, I'll just ferry her to the shore. Just like let's say, like, well, she's safe. His brother is safe. We are going back and just dive back in before they have anything to say, basically.
Sure, yeah. Well, in that case, you'll probably meet Galashar on the way back up.
He's just like swimming at like an appropriate height, and then he just looks down at the fucking 3 diver men. They're just walking at the bottom very
Yeah, it's
slowly.
Yeah.
I just
Fucking
like
up to the-
swim down and like
Yeah, I'll
We
gesture
start walking
like
back.
I'll gesture
Yeah,
like
I'll-
we walked all the way and now we walk all the way back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then
This
I'll
is the play.
just look at Galashar and just gesture for him to go. And I'll point at the holy symbol.
yep. I'll start swimming down.
Yeah. And we
All right, we're
walk.
going to Underwater Church. Talk with Underwater Jesus.
Mhm.
All right. You guys can do a U-turn and go back into the sunken village. But let's take a break here. We can continue after
Let's
that.
do
I love having the cameras for this part though. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is great. Yeah.
it. It's so good.
very good. Anyways,
That's our dream. We want a mama bird for food out of the god bird.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Goals.
wish that were me.
Dreams of a nature cleric, boys.
Fucking weird, y'all.
so
Fucking.
on the way back, well, let me ask you first. Where are you going now? Is it the temple?
The temple, yeah.
The temple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well.
Hassan is just miming the lyrics too. We're all living in a yellow submarine while walking.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys walk down as slowly as ever, and eventually you guys make it back into the village, and you begin walking in the village. But it's at this point that I want to give you guys a bit of, you know, a small tidbit of village lore. You guys know the pond we talked about earlier for the drinking water.
Yeah.
Well, that pond has one local resident. And that local resident is a wildlife specimen that is kind of lives there, but, you know, kind of minds his own business, does his own thing, lives over at the pond, and people who go to the pond know not to, like, really fuck with him, and then he doesn't really fuck with you. It's kind of a, you know, symbiosis, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that creature, the wildlife specimen I was talking about, is Johnny the Toad.
Wow.
Johnny the Desert Toad. He lives over
Fuck now.
at the pond. Yes.
Is it like big?
This is good news, because if there was some type of like mythical creature or like some well-known, I would have talked with this thing before, 100% as a nature cleric. There's no.
He doesn't.
shot
He
that I
doesn't
haven't
really
tried to talk
respond
to it.
ever though. Like,
I
yeah,
was-
no.
You just been
Oh,
done
I would-
every time.
Yeah, I would be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So, assuming in the past, have I been able to talk to this thing after like trying to speak
So-
to animals, with my spells and everything?
So Johnny the Toad is a bit of a loner, and he is a grumpy old toad. He's lived over there for a long time, and he doesn't want anything to do with the humans pestering about his pond. He, you know, lets people come over, get their water. As I said, he doesn't fuck with you as long as you don't fuck with him. But, you know, the pond has kind of collapsed into this larger lake now. And it's as you guys are walking through the sunken remains of Kuara, it's no one else than Johnny the Toad that comes skipping and hopping down on the lake bed towards you guys. And he seems frantic. More frantic than ever. He's always been kind of a, you know, a pretty somber, yeah, as I said, you know, grumpy toad.
He was
That
just
kind of
vibing.
Yeah, kind of just looks on like, get off my damn property when you're over there.
Property, you kids.
Yeah, just
He
look,
ribbits in a southern accent.
yeah, the toad just kind of like looks at you, gives you a mean look every time you go there, but otherwise he doesn't do much. But now it seems that everything that's happened has stressed him out very highly, and he seems just frantically like swimming and hopping around this lake bed. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and as he sees you guys, very aggressively, he begins hopping and skipping towards you guys. And
That's right. At
Swimming
this
back.
point, I think notice that you can talk while underwater. It just you can breathe. Well, so he just shouts underwater. Oh shit! Is that Johnny the Toad? But he's just.
Yeah.
I'll start swimming away from it and leave my extremely slow companions behind.
All right. Well, he's coming from, a bit away, so we will drag ourselves onto a map and see what happens with the
Yeah,
toad.
kill the local legend.
Nah, there's no shot. Guys, we die here.
All right. Johnny's coming
What are you
from-
talking about?
Johnny's
This is
coming
what I was
from
born for.
up here.
Fucking toad wrestling.
Yeah, you've had beef with John and Toad for fucking
Oh.
centuries.
Oh yeah.
You
But
guys are
for a while,
probably over somewhere here.
Okay.
for a second, I was really hoping he'd say like it's some sort of gator, and it's like, this is it. This is what Dale and his people are for. Gator wrestling.
It's like
And
I
then
was
he-
born for this.
And then he's like, it's a toad. And I was like,
Yeah. So, just like general vibe of this creature, he's a bit of a cunt. People know him as like the asshole frog or the asshole toad that kind of like lives over at the pond, and you just have to deal with him to get your water. That's
He's kind
generally
of our local asshole, right? Because
Yeah.
he doesn't actually harm anyone, right? He just like
Not
tongues
really, no.
someone and then like pushes them over.
yeah. If you could drag your
I'm
character,
trying to get my token
you can.
on here, but every time I go over to the little draggy icon, it doesn't. It like fucking disappears. It's like,
Roll 20 moment.
There we go.
Well,
I did it
we
for
really
you.
need to make like a Roll 20
Thank you.
theme song, and it's just like you can't watch the video. It just doesn't work. That's the whole thing. Just a bunch of error messages, like it's desynced.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, as I said, Johnny's hipping and hipping and hopping,
and then hopping.
Hopping and skipping.
and skipping very aggressively towards you guys, which means we're gonna roll initiative.
Hippity hoppity, get off my property. I feel like that one line is what made the same thing of this fucking character. Good.
Alright.
We can't kill him, right?
Oh no, the nat one.
Hopefully we
Oh,
won't
no.
need to
Shut the fuck
pray.
up. Back to this
Oh, no.
bullshit again. Which campaign? Yeah, it was the other desert campaign. Oh no, I rolled a 1. No, I rolled a 7. Which one of us goes first? Me?
All right. Goes on.
Yeah, I like fucking. I just like. I assume also we're fucking walking slow as shit. So I just
Yeah, we
fucking
are.
like
We are
stride
on the
over.
ocean,
Yeah,
the ocean floor, or like
yeah. So
like floor,
I
yeah.
assume like 10 feet per round is like maximum I can do. Because like 15 would be if I had swimming, right?
Yeah, 15 would be if you had swimming. If you're just walking on the ocean floor, yeah, I'll say like 10 feet. Maybe like roughly like a third of your movement speed, I would say. Yeah.
And what about the gnome? Is he gonna be 10 feet as well?
Well, he doesn't have as much resistance when he's moving because he's smaller, so it's
Yeah,
a lot
I've got
easier for
it.
him, you know. So he still has
Yeah,
10
so
feet. So
just-
let's think about it, Taiki.
Just because I would make Quantum feel like his character is a cripple if I only allowed him to move 5 feet around. I'll say he can move 10 feet as well.
Very good, very good.
I appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will look at Shala and be like, and then I will just stand there and like get ready to like defend, like just basically
I
push
nod.
the toad out of the way if it comes to attack us. That's my
know
turn.
what must be done.
I dodge effectively.
Very well. Dale.
I'm coming for you, Johnny.
You see just a bunch of bubbles around this area as he's
Dale moves 20
All
feet
eyes.
with a dash.
he dashes.
Actually, that's quite will dash.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh, you're approaching me.
Oh. All right. Very well.
Brave but foolish.
Do your
Johnny.
worst, Johnny.
Who is a toad. And toads can leap far, but especially in water. He's, as I said, hipping and hopping. And he kind of like half swims, half jumps around. And he makes very good progress towards you guys as he kind of like glides through the water towards you guys. Gelashar.
I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but it looks aggressive, which means I'm gonna move up. perfect. I'm gonna move up 30 feet there.
Half speed?
Oh yeah, true. Actually, I can't.
Yeah, underwater half speed. Even if you can swim.
Yeah.
We've got that
Yeah.
3D movement.
I'll just.
So this was your one opportunity to play Subnautica music and you missed it. Mr. Boop
I'll-
Boop as Johnny jumps toward us.
Yeah, just get
Dash a bit
fucking
closer
copyrighted
and-
out of the ass.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because you don't make private ones.
Oh,
This
yeah,
one, right?
these are
even
private,
even if YouTube videos are private, they still get copyrighted. Even
Oh,
if
they still get
yeah,
automatically
yeah,
struck?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, they do.
All right. I will be dodging. I'm dashing here and ending my turn here.
All right. Very well, Shala.
All right. I have
Shala, who's had a very very long day.
I have-
It's a 5 feet movement.
all
The
right.
5
so,
feet movement.
Well, I have half of half, 7.5, and Gazan is standing right next to me. He knows what I want to do. Can he get me the extra 2.5 feet to get? 2
Boss, I'm gonna be
squares?
honest, I have no fucking idea what you wanna do. I'm just here trying to do anything against fucking
So
Johnny the Menace.
there's no shot that I could get more than just 1 square here. Without using
no,
my
I
action.
don't think so. No.
Could I stop dodging and like move him
That's-
2.5
that's fine.
feet?
That's fine.
I mean, you've already dodged, so I don't think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I will. I'm just gonna move up here in front of Gazan,
Mhm.
and I ready a ability, gesturing out my holy symbol towards Johnny for when he approaches within 30-foot range of me.
Which ability do you ready?
Charm animals and plants.
Very well. New initiative.
Do initiative.
It's the most.
I gotta tackle Dave. Dale, sorry, I keep saying Dave, but it's Dale.
The party
Dave,
strategy
not
is split.
Dave.
All right.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, but your communication is
Yeah. Galachar.
Yeah, this thing is terrifying. So can I reach from here now? I have to move a bit. Jeez. Yeah, I will move here. And I have no idea what's going on. I just see Dale charging and this angry frog coming at us. So I will
while
be
holding out the holy symbol. I'm just
ice knifing the frog.
Hmm. All right.
So that's 11 to hit.
11 to hit. Will miss as it scrapes
And
past just by.
then it needs to do a dex saving throw to dodge the second part.
I think the second part is only if the first part hits, right?
hit or miss,
Oh.
it still explodes. So it
Oh,
flies
okay.
the distance, he dodges, then it blows up.
Okay. All right. Very well. So an icy knife flies out, barely misses the toad, and explodes behind him.
Explodes around him like it. I think it still hits him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
the knife
Yeah.
doesn't, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that the first one doesn't, but everything like him and 5 feet around him is gonna take the. Fuck. Sorry, the wrong one. The 8 cold damage.
8 cold damage. All right.
Yep.
Very well.
Now the
It
frog
has
is
to look-
angry. And
Yeah, really cool underwater though.
Yeah.
Like it explodes into like fucking ice shards that just
Mhm.
probably
yeah, the
stay
ice
there.
shards like slow down and that's like start floating
Yeah.
there. And the frog is even angrier now. And I end my turn.
All right. The toad leaps on over towards Dale. Give me your
Arch nemesis.
readied spell, Shala.
Yeah, I have the symbol held out, and with a burst of energy, and even through the waters, you hear the bellowing word of Nadinus as the
The one word
creature
that's clear.
is- The creature is targeted with a charm, and it must pass a DC 13 Wisdom save or be friendly to all of us.
What to you, right?
I think it's.
I like Is it charmed by you or what does it say?
You and other
Charmed by
creatures
you
you
for 1
designate.
minute. Yep. So I will designate all of my party members as people. to
Very
target.
well. Unfortunately, Johnny, he doesn't
He's
care
too
about
stuck in his
your
way.
He's too stuck in his ways. He doesn't care about your tricks right now. He only sees one target in his, stressed out state where he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He attacks anything he sees because they could be potentially dangerous threats. The toad will walk up to you, Dale, open its giant mouth and bite at you for a 16.
That unfortunately is enough.
Very well. It will deal 8 damage, 5 piercing, 3 poison damage, and it will grapple you in its mouth.
Spaghetti time.
Good thing I have a sharp, pointy stick.
Which
All right, now it's my
brings
turn.
us to Dale. Yep.
This is bullshit. So what, with me being grappled in his mouth, what are the effects on my attack?
You are restrained, and I think restrained was...
Additionally, we're combating underwater, which is a whole different kind of wacky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't move, and you have disadvantage on your attacks.
Great. Or I can try and get out of it.
Yeah, you can also try to escape with a athletics check. DC 13.
Okay.
What was your weapon?
I've got a longsword.
Oh, it's perfect.
No, short sword is the one that works underwater. Long
I
sword
think
doesn't.
that
Yeah,
stabs.
you can still stab. Yeah.
Still
Yeah, I
stab.
guess, technically speaking.
But-
I should know that.
He does have advantage on me. Or I could just go for the big money
Also-
shots.
Dale, how do you think a frog attacks opponents, other than biting? What is the follow-up to a bite?
Eating. Yeah, so I'm gonna... This is definitely something that we have feared over, is getting eaten by Johnny. So we don't like
It's true. You're
Daryl
on the right
Cletus
side.
and I don't
Especially
like
as a
that.
gnome.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
are
yeah,
the right side
especially as
for
a
this.
gnome. And we've
You're a little
definitely had nights where we've been real drunk and we've tried to do something about Johnny, and only a few times have we actually thrown things at him. And
Thing is, the reason Johnny might be so mad is because of you three, probably.
He recognizes you and he's like, this is the
That's
cause of all our
exactly-
problems.
This is the enemy.
He's like, we got some methanol we skimmed off the top. We're gonna poison bomb this.
Yeah, the
fucker."
reason he was actually a normal frog at first, but he's grown because of all the shit you've dumped in the pond.
probably, but I don't feel like getting et today, so I'm just going to roll 2-1. What the
Oh my
fuck?
God.
That doesn't
Oh,
like you.
no.
He's
Yikes.
just spinning around.
All
In
right.
every universe, it sucks to suck.
Well, the toad's mouth is surprisingly slippery and slimy. You can't really get a good grip anywhere, and you just kind of squirm around, and you're unable to escape
Yeah.
his bite. All right, Shala, your spell
Oh my
unfortunately
God.
failed.
That is really something. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, I probably just only really have one thing that's useful here. I will take a step back. Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And I will point to Johnny and call down a plume of sacred flame upon his head.
All right. Ooh.
Boom! Surely he'll fail.
He will not fail.
Can you do... Yeah, you can still do verbal stuff underwater if you have water breathing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have water breathing, I think you immediately start to drown after casting a verbal component. But if you have water breathing, yeah, I think you can cast underwater. Yeah.
Okay, that makes things a lot easier then.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, even in the water, the sacred flame comes down from the sky, but doesn't quite strike the toad where it needs to. Johnny takes no damage at all.
God damn it.
Goes on.
Damn it, Johnny.
I'm going to fucking wander over here. I see Dale is currently being eaten and just fucking thrashed around, and he's just trying to stab.
Mhm.
And I'll walk over and vicious mockery Johnny, and it doesn't need to understand me. He just needs to hear me. So even if he doesn't speak common or it goes, Johnny feels in his mind that I am very disappointed in him, and I thought better of him. Make his
Alright.
wisdom saving throw.
Ribbit. Psh.
All right.
That's so
Johnny feels the shame, which will affect his next attack.
Yeah.
And he also
that's
takes a bit of
disadvantage.
psychic damage.
Yeah.
New initiative.
Computer sounds like it's about to take off. Give me a second.
Oh
We
no.
have liftoff. SpaceX.
Sounds like his computer's overheating or something.
Oh, it's the Gamba sites. They're running Bitcoin miners in the
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that. I was like, oh, it's the Bitcoin miner. It's going to overdrive.
Oh no.
Okay, all good now.
Very well. Surprisingly to no one, Gelashar, you are first.
What do you mean? I rolled on that one in the first round. I'm gonna walk a bit closer and I'll throw a chill touch at the toad. For a 24.
24 is a crit.
That's a big hit.
Every goddamn
Yeah.
time I see shield touch, I expect cold damage, but it's not.
Yeah, so the like skeletal hand goes to like it should grab him, but it's gonna actually punch him in the water and then like be stuck there like this. And
You
that's
hear
the
the
end of my
toad.
turn.
All right, Dale, in the slippery teeth and tongue of the
think-
toad.
Yeah, having failed so badly, there's only one thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Try again.
No.
Rage. Very well.
Enter into a rage. So yeah, I'm gonna rage, and then fuck it, I don't care if I have disadvantage, because I think I can use a fucking reckless attack and
Yeah.
just get regular ass attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that this is the
Hold
time
on, before
to
you do it, the Sev, and you have like one cancelled out one. So if you have two disadvantages, right? You have, and one advantage, you still have disadvantage, right?
Yes. Does he have two sources of
Fiddle.
disadvantage?
He should, because he's restrained and
Oh.
also he's underwater. So unless you have some like stabbing implement, which a
Oh.
longsword
you are
isn't.
true. You're,
shit.
you're fighting with a slashing weapon, right?
Yeah, it's a longsword, even though I
Yeah.
can poke with it.
Yeah. So
You
you
could
have-
improvise it, I assume, and just stab with it instead, right?
You
Like,
could.
it would still, it
You-
would just
Yeah,
be
but it's improvised damage.
Yeah, it would be improvised.
Yeah, but it's
damage.
improvised damage, but you wouldn't have disadvantage.
Yeah. So
So then
either-
it ultimately
yeah,
nothing
still add-
happened.
Yeah,
Either you
your
can
strength
make a normal attack at disadvantage, or you can make a
A reckless attack, it's still at disadvantage.
reckless
I think.
attack, improvised attack, which would be normal, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So, like
Yeah.
punch him or use a.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. I'll
and
do
you'd
the normal
still
attack.
use your
And he'll still have
rage and
advantage
strength.
against me.
So you'll
You
do
know.
the reckless improvised attack with your longsword.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
I'm still restrained. He's going to have advantage against regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
that's true. Yeah. All right.
Gonna hit him with the pommel skull smash.
And 19
Alright.
probably would have been good enough, but alas,
Yeah.
I
11
only get 11.
is barely a miss once again. You take your
Yep.
sword, you're used to slashing it around, you take it, try to poke the toad's eye, but you go like just slightly too high because of your
Yep.
precarious
It just kind of like
situation.
slides right off.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
All right, Shala.
Will once again call to Nadinus. Please let me put down this frenzied creature.
smoking Johnny.
Another sacred flame.
This time it hits
Burn, Johnny.
Johnny Bird.
Pain-
Yes, Johnny,
Your home is gone. Your pain will
Soon
be
you'll
over
do
soon,
it.
Johnny.
Look at the flowers, Johnny.
Johnny burns underwater.
Your lonely life is coming to a close, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. All right, Johnny, with the bite-sized gnome in his mouth, will bite at you with advantage. Oh,
Glad I
gonna
raged.
No. I'm gonna force a reroll on that one.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, that
Oh,
classic.
clutch.
God,
He's
it's
clutching it
fuck.
in.
I would murder every time mage I could find.
all right. You are
Yeah, I'm
in
gonna
range, fair.
zzz, and I'm in range, and I see that the bite is like he's angry and it's gonna bite him like his head off or something. So I just like do a zzz, and hopefully Dale can reposition in time.
All right, we will make a new attack roll for an 18.
Yes!
It is still
Yeah,
an
it's
advantage.
not
It's
crit.
an
It's
18.
still a hit, but it's not a crit.
That is true. If you do a crit again, it's just there's only so much the time mage can do about fate.
It still makes me feel good that he rolled a 1, so I actually only take 5 damage.
5 damage. True. You are raging.
Yep.
All
I
right.
should have done that first place.
With you in its mouth, it's got you kind of in its tongue. Now it bites down on you again, and this time, Dale, as it bites down on you, it is going to swallow you, bloop, into its stomach. You are completely covered in the slimy toad's stomach, blinded and restrained.
Well, he's about to have a gnome cut its way out, so Johnny's in for a bad
John's
time.
gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, alright. Well, Gazan, Dale is gone. He is inside the toad. I'll just move you, let's do over here. That's better. For
Every
health bars.
gnome of the town's worst nightmare has
Bad,
come to
bad,
life.
bad local celebrity toad. Spit him out. Bad.
Spit that out. You don't know where he's been.
No,
no,
no, no.
Hey, he had disadvantage
Yeah,
on the
no,
attack
but he had
because
2
of-
advantages because he recklessly attacked and he's restrained, so it cancels
yeah,
out
true.
anyways, yeah.
Shit.
Alright, he will make a new wisdom saving throw and fail once again. Sounds like the, mean tone is getting to the frog.
The disapproving tone, yeah. I guess Kazan is just standing there pointing at the frog, he's bubbling underwater.
Mm-hmm. Alright,
Yeah, that's my fucking turn.
new initiative.
I love being useless, it's so funny.
Just bar things.
Holy
We've made a few more
pirates.
levels.
No, I mean, I'm useful above water, but in this situation specifically,
God
Yeah.
damn.
Alright, Gazan.
alright, I will, once again, vicious mockery, but I will hold it cinematically until his turn, where I hope he spits it out, because that's what I told him to do. So I will hold the vicious mockery until after his turn. And if he bites me, he bites me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I shouldn't have rolled that now, but whatever. It's his turn now anyways, we'll find out what happens.
Alright. It is the toad's turn. And in the toad's stomach, Dale, the stomach acids, they're getting to you. I want you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm good at those. I still roll a natural 6.
Might be enough.
11, yeah. You will take half
Good.
6 acid
Gee.
damage.
Very good.
Oh, I'm glad it was half.
As with Dale in his stomach, he will move to you, Gazan, and bite out at you.
That's alright, man. That's alright, man. Yes, disadvantage, but yeah.
He
Bite.
doesn't like the sounds you're making. It makes him feel bad.
Look, alright, just because of this point, then it doesn't mean you should eat me. Oh, fuck.
He will bite out at you at disadvantage for a 9.
9, he misses. And then the
misses.
vicious mocker hits him, and I tell him, come on, spit it out! Stop trying to bite me! And he has to
Alright.
make another wisdom saving throw against the vicious mocker, and he
will.
fails. And he
And
still
once
feels
again
bad.
fails.
He's getting stun-locked emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Dale, it is your turn.
Yep.
Covered in stomach
reckless.
acid.
I'll reckless attack again because it's not like he gets advantage on fucking stomach acid.
Mm-hmm.
You are blinded and restrained, though, right?
You have like quadruple disadvantage, but it's
But I feel like the blinded doesn't make any difference because I'm surrounded completely by him. No matter which way I strike, I will hit him.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
the
will
weird
cause
part. about it.
Sure.
Mass
If you recklessly attack, I'll give you a normal attack. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Wait,
that's
we
fair.
can click the NPC's attack?
Well, no, clearly you can't. That's why it's giving you that message,
Yeah,
Xander.
yeah, well, I mean, clearly I just did it, Giuseppe. Do you want me to do it again to prove the point?
No. All right.
So he'll take 10
22.
damage.
22 hits. 10 damage? Oh yeah, rage. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
22 hits. You slice Johnny from the inside, and you deal a lethal blow.
he just dives out.
Tragedy. R.I.P. Johnny.
Can we say I like slice him
Oh my
open
God.
and then I just like crawl out
Oh,
of
yeah,
the slice
sure.
that I made?
Yeah, I mean you're inside his stomach. You're completely covered by his stomach acid. You take your sword, you like whoosh, slice his stomach open, and along with probably most of his intestines and guts, you probably like make your way out of his stomach.
Perfect.
Belch. Dale makes it out, and there's like blood going up into the water, and there's like toad guts in his intestines, could just kind of like waving around in the water.
I look at Dale, who's fine, and then I place my hand on Johnny's head and just pet him.
Yeah, I'll come up. I do the same. I'm holding my holy symbol, and I close the lids of his little
I'll put
toad
my-
eyes. And
My arm on the shoulder.
I cut
of
a
Shala.
leg off as a souvenir.
Yeah, no, we're just like, oh no, this poor
You're all like
little
paying
Rose
respect
is
to it. I'm just
finally,
like,
I
you
got
guys,
this
you
little bitch.
motherfuckers didn't get eaten by him.
Something good from this thing.
Fuck you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. So you cut off like a leg of his. Is
Yeah.
that- all right. You can take it with
Yeah.
him as a trophy
Souvenir.
or
Yeah,
souvenir.
we'll probably eat later to assert our dominance. You eat me, motherfucker. Well, here's how it goes. We're gonna cook and eat you.
Yeah. Gonna go
like,
to
I just
gonna go to Cletus and Daryl, show it to them. You'll never guess where this is from.
Exactly.
I have a story for you guys.
I got a whale of a tale to tell you, lads.
Yeah.
This is the fucking Carissa version of Bobby Dick right here.
I think once I got his eyes closed and I stand up, everybody's harvested their trophies and things. Shala just murmurs under the waves a short little prayer for Johnny, just saying, you were the protector of our pond, and the gods have had other plans for you, it seems. Rest in peace, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Poor old Toad.
All right. Well, Dale, he definitely took a bite or two, and stomach acids burned his skin quite a bit. Dale's definitely pretty wounded, but I assume you guys are just gonna carry on over to the church or the temple?
Yeah, I mean, I look him over, I look at him, it was like, just the 15th time today I've gestured for someone else to go first to see what the decision is.
Yeah, I'll start
So, yeah.
heading towards the temple, I guess.
The nice thing about being underwater is the acid gets washed away real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the second you open him up, the blood, the guts, the water, all of it should have washed the acid off pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, a quick note here, Quantum, can you change it so you don't auto-roll damage? Because otherwise, it's a lot easier to keep track of
Oh yeah, true. I was gonna.
damage dealt if we make a mistake or something, if you don't auto-roll.
Yeah, I was gonna
Gotcha.
say. You can do it pretty easily in the options, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll change back on you.
Yeah, probably at some point, but like we can
Roll
try
20,
to
you
we can
know?
try to control roll 20 as best we can. All right, let's not let roll 20 control us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, we move
you
on.
guys continue on the lake floor, and eventually, after a few minutes, you guys will make it over to the old, small village temple. Now, Let me just ask real quick. How much time do we have?
I was gonna say.
I have to leave in about 50 minutes ish.
50?
50.
50.
Yeah, we have almost
50.
an hour.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we're good on time.
All right,
Chilling.
we're fine then.
Gonna land where 18 sounds like 80, 19 sounds like 90, and
Mhm.
20 sounds like steam line rupture. You gotta say numbers right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You can stay on this map. We're below the water. Just move Johnny, since he's not here anymore. You can imagine
Peace.
a big temple made out of probably rock and clay, mostly. You know, even though Kuara was, not is, was, it definitely was a very small village.
That's Quara past tense at this point. I think everyone can agree on that one.
Yeah. Even though Quara was a very small village, every village in Karis, needs to have at least a moderate temple or church. Otherwise it's like, what are you even doing? It's like almost sacrilegious if you have like a small shitty temple or a small church. And Quara is no exception. There is a pretty well-sized temple here that seems to have a shrine for especially the two clerics, or the two gods that the head clerics worship, which are Mathis and Safia, the knowledge and wisdom gods, god and goddess. But it also has like minor shrines for all the other gods and goddesses as well. The entire temple is one floor, one like pretty big room, and then just like a few smaller, I think like a living chamber for like the local clerics who live here, and then probably like just a small storage room towards the back as well. The temple, unlike, for example, Gazan's house, seems to have been damaged pretty badly. Like, most of it's pretty much been like split into 3 parts. It seems the structure of the church didn't take the earthquake too well. It's like pretty much been like split into 3 parts. It's kind of like one part standing, then one part has like collapsed to like a 45-degree angle, stuff like that. So it's not looking too good. So you can pretty much like see inside even from the outside. But if you guys recall, Raja, she told you guys that with the help of the spell that they always have cast on each other, Sacred Guardian, Rojo is safe where he is, but there's like a time limit to that, and he is surrounded by danger. And he is somewhere dark and somewhere hard to move around in.
I think out of water we should have discussed it's like the ideas of where he could be. I think most of us just like he's probably crushed under some rocks, right? He can cast water breathing on himself, but he's only got limited amounts of that, right? Before that runs out. Any other ideas of what the danger might be?
Yeah, I think
Water.
seeing this, Shala points down to the part that's like leaning and looking like it might collapse, or it already kind of semi has collapsed, and points to the area underneath that. I guess if you might be trapped under there, and it's about to collapse, possibly.
Yeah, temple is the most likely place to look. We just go from
I
there.
think just getting up closer to the temple, getting a closer look, how much of this is just like loose rubble around this area where
There's quite a bit of loose rubble kind of like everywhere. As I said, the temple has kind of been split into 3 parts. The part that is kind of like still upright has been just like there's a massive crack in like the middle, and then the third part, which has kind of like tilted over to like a 45-degree angle, that part is much more damaged. It's like more just like rubble and stuff, and it seems to be like resting on like a small hillside.
Gotcha. Okay, so maybe looking under that, I suppose. We'll go over and just
That'd be-
walk it really quick. I'm not going to cast any spells or move any rocks, but just
Yeah, sure. You guys can investigate the collapsed back half of the temple. Immediately upon first glance, it seems that as it's clearly collapsed and it's kind of like the rubble is resting on a hillside, there could be something beneath it. That's true. But if you're gonna look for anything that's beneath it, you're gonna have to do a bit of, excavating or, pulling out like a lot of the rubble that's in there.
I'll point to the rubble beneath the leaning or like collapsed part that's leaning against the hillside, and I kind of like I gesture with my spell, but also gesture like if I do that, it could fall.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for air
Uh,
bubbles,
uh,
like anywhere. See if I can see somewhere where there's like air very slowly, similar to how my sister was trapped, like seeping out somewhere.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Could I investigate instead, hypothetically?
No, you're looking for them. You haven't found them yet. But you also don't see them, even though you are looking for them, so. Unfortunate.
Oh, duh. Okay. Just thought of this. I've seen Rojo and Raja like all over the place. These are my holy mentors of the town. Do I recognize or see any of his personal effects anywhere? Like, is there a shield or a distinct weapon of his, or a hat, or like something that might have that's just strewn about, fallen by the wayside, that might have fallen over when he got trapped or something?
I think both of the clerics are pretty non-combat oriented, so they probably don't like wear armor. They don't probably have shields, but they probably have like some personal
Maybe like
belongings.
a walking stick or like a quarterstaff or something.
Yeah, they maybe have something like that to, I don't know, defend themselves if something does happen. And
Yeah.
I mean, you've definitely been here before, and you would definitely recognize probably like some personal belongings that they might have. And you definitely notice that, inside the temple, probably in their usual spots, there are quite a bit of like personal belongings to both of them that you kind of recognize that have clearly been left here because they, just didn't have time to take any. But they don't really give you any indication of where Rojo might be.
Gotcha. So they're just more like in the dwelling areas and surfaces, not so much like around the rubble, like it's strewn about chaotically. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And is this wall like? Is it not feasible that we would be able to push this wall somehow, or is this like a huge, like 20-foot wall that's leaning up against this hillside?
It's a pretty massive wall because it is like the wall of like the temple. But as I said, it's been reduced to quite a large number of smaller pieces. So you could move like smaller bits of the wall. That's something you could feasibly do.
Looking at the party members, I'll point to the smaller pieces of the wall and kind of like gesture for a push, and I'll gesture my hands towards the loose rock and like whatever type of dirt or pieces of the wall that may be left that are closer to the hillside, so that I can move those with the mold earth. I'm looking to not I don't want to kick out all of the stone from under the wall so it just like falls further and then breaks or falls awkwardly. I'm just trying to dig through the stone that's closer to the hillside so I don't fuck with the structural integrity of what's left of the wall. And I'll just sifting through that and shifting everything aside. I'll sweeping from top to bottom. I'll see if I can find anything. in that first like 5 feet away from the hillside, kind of. I'm starting about this immediately. I'm just like pew, 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 push every 6 seconds, just pushing out 5-foot cubes of stones from the hillside.
While he's doing this, I try to remember back, like when we were at the coast. Did the clerics say where both of them were staying when the earthquake happened? Like, were they in their own quarters? Were they in the common place of the church, like temple, or like?
She didn't say exactly. She said that they were both in the temple, but you know, now that you're getting like a good look at like the layout of the church, you're a smart man. So why don't you give me just an intelligence check?
Yeah, I might have been there like once in my life when I just had to go there, and I'll see if I.
No, this isn't.
Remember.
This isn't.
Okay.
Remembering stuff. Okay. Yeah.
And you've probably been dragged here with Shala before too.
Yeah. What Raja said was that she made it out, but Rojo didn't. So they were probably in different spots.
Yeah.
And based on what I've told you, can you think of where, if you were located in one place, what would be a place where you would be located where you would quickly get out, and what's a place located where you wouldn't be able to quickly get out if you had to?
I mean, mostly like in the back of the church where there's no exits, right? And then.
Yeah, the collapsed back of the church. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably something you think of.
Yeah. So, I'll probably try like. Can I remember where? I don't remember the cleric's name, but the stuck cleric was like. Could I remember where in the
Rojo?
temple his quarters would be? Rojo, yeah.
Yeah, as I said, like the living chambers and the storage room were they're like both at the back of the church. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to like point Shala towards the living quarters of this guy and like try to give like pointing directions, like lift this to that, like.
Now that I have a new place to look in, like more. Yeah, go on.
What's up?
Now go on.
I was just gonna say, I think by this time I've probably cleared out like the 5-foot path along the hillside, and then I see Gelashar, gesturing and getting my attention, and I'll slowly hobble at my abysmal movement speed, get over there and start. Is this another area that I'm just a quick glance? Is this like another structurally sensitive area where I can't just like carelessly shove stones out of the way?
Well,
like the wall?
So yeah, maybe I'll draw it. This would be like the hillside. This is like the front of the church that is kind of still intact, but maybe like, as I said, split from the middle. And then there is the fallen side of the church, which is like this.
Gotcha.
Oh, so like split down the middle and like
So I've
half
only-
it like fell back over.
Yeah, this is like 3 pieces of the church. 2 of
So
them
I've
are
only
still kind
cleared
of up.
out like that,
Mm-hmm.
or not
Yeah,
even.
now
that
they have
much,
a
it's like
more
5 feet.
specific area to look into. Can I look around here for like air bubbles?
Like between the hill and the
Yeah, like somewhere, because I assume like he
It's-
got stuck when this shit fell over.
yeah, between the hill and the fallen wall, like
Yeah.
in this area, it seems to just
Yeah.
be, there's just you look inside and there's just rubble as far as you can see.
Yeah, and like nowhere along the edge, if I like go around it very slowly, like this whole pillar thing, I assume it's like, is it like the temple is whole and like the wall just fell, or did it like crack?
It
as
seems like
fell?
the wall just kind of like fell, and upon
So the-
impact on the hillside,
Okay.
it
like shattered. Into,
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna edge this area and look for air bubbles. Check or no check. I think that's what I will be doing because I can't do much else.
All right, I don't think you find any.
All right.
Well,
So I'm at the back of the temple.
the back of the temple
This
is like basically this piece right here. It's fallen down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Basically, or that is that piece. That
It is pretty much.
Under?
Yeah, like if we split the church or the temple into like 3 pieces, this would be the
That's
front,
the back.
this is the middle, and this is the back. Yeah.
So we're in the right place.
You are in the right place. Yeah, the back of the temple seems to have fallen down like this.
Okay. So I've excavated over there. So Gelashar, are you pointing me to like the inside where the wall fell down? Inside of the temple.
Yeah, I would point you like to the
Because he wouldn't be on the outside, right?
yeah,
That wouldn't
inside
make
and
sense,
in the like back corner where the living quarters would be, and I'm just like,
yeah, I'll
Mhm.
I'll move over here and start excavating some of that stone towards the back where the wall fell down, collapsed.
I'll probably look back at Dale and see like, is he still standing? Like, is he all right?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
I beckon him over and like point like to the rocks and like,
And I'll start doing what I do best: move fucking rocks.
All right. Yeah. So there's bigger pieces, and then there's like smaller rubble. I think if Dale kind of picks up the bigger pieces and Shala helps by moving aside some of the smaller rubble, I think you guys can like pretty much clear through like this entire thing from like this side, kind of like going through the thing, through like the walls of like some of the living chambers. Like this is all inside the church or the temple, and from like this side you guys can kind of like clear on like through the whole fallen structure pretty effectively. There are a few pieces that are pretty thick and heavy though. They can be moved, at least with the combined effort of a lot of you, but why don't you give me a strength check, Del, to see if you can do it alone.
Sure.
He's a monster.
Do
And
we
then
have-
I do.
oh yeah, I think you have disadvantage on it because you're wounded, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a
Doesn't
monster.
matter.
Yeah,
I would have.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have struggled either way.
You do struggle a bit. They are pretty big, and I mean, you're pretty small, so I mean, makes sense.
Seeing Dale struggle with this, I will swagger over and help him with it.
All right. You guys lift a big chunk of stone wall, and beneath it seems to be immediately, like pretty close by, another chunk of stone wall. This time, like a very thick piece. Seems to be like the outer wall of like the whole thing. But what's interesting about this wall is that there is a man inside the wall. You can see a hand coming out. You can see half a torso coming out. You can see a leg coming out, and you can also see half of a face coming out, like this side
His
of the
brain
face.
is massive.
And you can just see like this is where the wall comes, and this is where his face, and he just moves his eye, and he just kind of like looks at you.
How
look
big
at-
is this stone?
I
Like,
shudder.
is it absolutely massive? Can't be lifted by us?
Yes,
But-
it is like a highly intact, like probably this thick stone wall. This is like the outer wall.
Yeah.
And he is just like inside it.
Yeah, I think both Dale and Galashar, who might not like have so much experience with magic, is first like,
Yeah.
oh shit, oh fuck,
Oh shit!
oh, just like come Galashar over, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he is the wall.
Ah!
Whoa.
After the initial shock of like the big brain on this guy, I start pointing at the like, is there rubble or like ground below this stone? Like, could I excavate like a space under it?
For what purpose?
So basically, like if he comes like out of it, we can pull him out and then take him, give him a space where he can actually like
Yeah,
come
yeah, yeah.
out.
I mean, you've basically excavated all the way
Ah,
to him at this point. You've.
Oh yeah, you
cleared
can
the
go
way
front.
to
Yeah,
him.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But he's in the stone.
Yeah.
He only has his eye. You can't see his like nose or his mouth. He's just kind of like looking
But that's
at you.
in the stone, yeah?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's all in the stone. He does have one hand on the. He has like his left hand on this side of the stone, and he's just kind of like.
I look at Galashar like,
I didn't read about this shit. I'm a wizard.
Yeah, I mean, what can you tell me about what he's doing here? Because I probably would know about his abilities more than anybody else, right?
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
uh-oh.
Whoa, we're in danger.
Oopsie doopsie.
That's not the
Minus
worst.
one.
Very good.
If we
Shala.
break the
It's
stone,
a
he's
natural
free,
12.
guys. He is caged in the stone.
Oh yeah, you do have disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
I forgot.
Oh yeah, fuck, Jesus Christ. This is the worst.
Well,
Unironically, that let's
probably,
break the stone.
Shala, you probably know about his spells, but you probably only know about the ones he uses like the most often. And this, if this was a spell, this is clearly isn't something he's used in front of you ever.
So he's reaching out his hand.
Well, he's like
That's
shrugging.
what you were gesturing.
He
He's
has,
just
like,
doing
he has
this.
like everything down from like his shoulder is inside the stone, and he's just like.
Could I grab his hand and attempt to pull him out? He has space to like come.
Oh yeah,
out, right?
definitely.
You can grab his hand. He gives you his hand. You can
Yeah.
pull on his hand, but then he pulls away and does like a.
Then I shrug.
Then he kind of just like,
yeah.
Then he points at himself like.
Yeah, and I go up to Shawl and I just like breathe air out of my nose. Just like blow air bubbles around as just do this. I will look at him and I will go. He has a hand. Yeah, there's roll it. Yep. I'll point at Galashar and I'll go.
How big is this guy?
Yeah, this is the
Like,
problem is, you guys have talked with this guy more than me, but I can't communicate what I'm trying to like do without like speech. So I'll just
Yeah.
look at Shala and I'll be like, I'll point to the guy in the rock and then I'll just like grab my belly and just like shake it.
I gesture like. Like you want to eat him? What the fuck?
No. Yeah, no, and Galashar does the Michelangelo's thinker and how to communicate this with the rest of his gang.
Shala's really good at conveying herself. But
Yeah,
picking up on
Galashar
other
not
people's,
so
it's like,
much.
eh.
Yeah.
Like if I had your ability, this would be easy, but I do not.
Gasan, not Galashar. You're not Galashar.
Sorry.
Is there anything-
it's very.
Oh.
Why did we do this? This is
I,
getting.
I
Kazan,
start
yeah.
to start to guide Kazan a little bit and using my charade technique of doing like step by step.
Yeah.
I do like one like gesture to him.
I like
and
drop
then
a rock and it
two-
sinks.
One word, GTFO.
And then I gesture. I'll do one again, and I'll gesture to the stone and gesture like lifting, like.
And then I'll point at Galashar and I'll just do this.
And I'll point to him and gesture lift and shrug.
Oh shit. I mean, the problem is, like
Ooh,
in character,
you know what?
I have no idea how the spell works, so it's pretty hard.
Do
for
we
me to-
have?
It's not the spell that I'm problematic with. The spell is like, I mean, clearly we can pull him out because
Yeah,
his
yeah, I know,
arm
but-
started going out a
big
bit,
brain,
right?
Brain blasting.
And that's
Brain
just what I get,
blasting.
right?
Are
Yeah.
there large pieces of wood near this area that
There
are like
are-
stuck?
There are some pieces of wood here. The church hasn't been built only of rock or clay. There's some wood
Okay.
used. It is
I'll-
an important
I'll-
building. Yeah.
I'll gesture 1. And then point to the wood beam, and then point to the wood beam again. Cut. But, and then point to the stone. And then gesture up. Like we would get rope, tie them together, cut the wood, and the wood would float and carry them up.
Gelshaw shrugs as if he had an epiphany, and then he would just go to
Kazan!
you. Sorry, fucking God, this is AIDS. I need a nickname. I'm Sand now. I'm just Sand. I'm Sand. I love Sand.
It's sand.
I'm
Okay.
Sand.
All
Alright.
once is sand.
Ghassan walks over to Gelashar,
Mhm.
and then he looks at his costume, which he likes very much, and then I will grab the bottom of your robe, and I'll start doing this. And then I'll
take it
rip
off.
a large piece of his robe off, this big-ish,
Mhm.
a lot of it, and then I'll just point up, and I'll just do a fishnet motion.
Okay, so yeah,
And then I'll give you the cloth.
I will go up. I will swim up with the cloth.
Remember, Tyler, with your feet, you can probably express what you mean a lot more than the other guys can. You don't
Yeah.
have to do all
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just charading. Hey,
Mhm.
you could tie off to this.
Yeah,
beam,
that's
cut
how
the
you do it.
beam,
You out of
tie to the
character
rock.
can
Yeah.
explain it more. if
Yeah,
you want,
you can. Yeah, but you can do the charading, but you can also accompany it with speech as well for us to understand. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll swim up to the surface, and then I have a brain blast on the way up, and I have my torn robe, and I probably have my water skill on my belt as well, right?
Water skin. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I'll
First water skin, it's an air skin.
Yes. And I get up and I start emptying my water skin. Up.
No, you don't
Yeah.
need to breathe. But splash, you make it above the surface. You can
I
empty
empty my
your
water.
water skin until
And then I make yes. Now it's an air skin. Yes, perfect.
All right.
And I will also try to pull some air in a pocket on the torn rope and start bringing it down with me.
I think that is. I don't know physics that well, but I think that's insanely difficult to do.
It is
If the
pretty
air is stuck
difficult.
in,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is
you would have
okay.
to have a leather sheet or bag or something.
Yeah.
to tuck in
It'll
your
leak
pocket.
through slowly, I think, right? It won't pour
Yeah.
but
through immediately.
it would
right?
have to be. It would have to be like a comp. I
Because
think
think,
there wa-
think
if
about
it's
every time you've jumped in a lake and you've gotten air trapped in your shorts and then
Yeah.
it just looks like you have a big old fucking bubble butt. It's
Yeah.
doable.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to think
Yeah.
about it like this. Have you tried to sit on a basketball while you're in the water? or
It's
something
super
like that?
heavy, especially the deeper you
Yeah,
get.
so
yeah.
you have to trap
Yeah,
that
the
and
more,
swim
the more
all
difficult
the way
part
back
is
down
pulling
with it.
the fucking thing down. That would be the difficult
Yeah,
part, yeah.
you're gonna have to fight
Yeah.
that thing swimming all the way down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I give up on this one and then I just try to go down with the water skin
All right.
and leave my torn robe. And
Yeah, I think-
it's probably gonna be fucking hard, but
Yeah, I think the water skin is probably this size or something. I mean, it has enough water to sustain you for, I think, was it 3 or 4 days? So it's got some size. So you're definitely
Don't
gonna
worry, it
have
gets
to
smaller on the way
push
down.
it. Yeah. This sounds like something where it's not just normal swimming. I would say this is swimming with resistance. So why don't you give me an athletics check to swim down with the air in your water skin?
I am God among men.
It does it.
No issue with
problem.
me.
All right. You push.
Pro athlete.
You push very hard. You swim very hard, and you can make it back to the bottom, even with the air.
Yeah. And then I pull it in my hand and it's like trying to float and I pull it back like this and show it to both Kashan and the cleric.
The cleric makes an intelligence check to Okay, he understands what's going on. It just does this.
Yeah, and I hold it here and I show like this, and grab and like this.
All right. The cleric does a thumbs up, and then he holds like 3 fingers out.
I turn it to give it to him.
All right. He takes it in his hand. Yeah.
I don't know. I just face planted this fucking counting. I look at it like the most disjointed counting mechanism not in the end, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Like magic, the cleric slips out of the stone. You can see his other eye. You can see his nose. You can see his face. He just slips out of the stone, like, you know, getting out of a tub or something filled with water. Slips out.
His nose vacuums in everything because there's air in his body.
And he immediately he takes the water skin that Gelashar opened, takes it. He breathes in.
Yeah. And then the water skin starts to float, and I start pushing him up with the water skin.
Mm-hmm. You start pushing him. He cannot swim, so he's gonna need some
the
help.
water skin should float him. He's gonna float up with the water skin as well, right? A bit, because it's buoyant.
Yeah, probably.
So it's gonna help a bit, yeah.
It's gonna help, yeah.
As long as he keeps his hand, like, it doesn't let it slip. His grip
Yeah.
slip.
Yeah, sure.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna look for just like a decently sized piece of wood, so that way he has something to grab onto.
Yeah,
And just
I think Shala mentioned that earlier, and I said that there are like a few pieces of wood like stuck into the rubble, like from the structures of the temple.
yeah,
I can
yank
help
it
Dale
out.
move some stuff out of the way if needed.
Yeah, yank it out, and then just watch it float.
All right. Yeah, you yank
Go
it
to the
out.
top and like.
You let it go. It begins going up. This guy, who's probably, I mean, Galashar's probably holding him. He's trying to, I don't know, do some swing motions, but he can't really swim, so he's probably just like wasting energy. But then probably like the wooded beam, you know, comes up, probably hits him on like a hip or something. He notices it, you know, grabs on with his other arm, holding on to Galashar with his other arm. Makes it a lot easier for Gelashar, and Gelashar can swim to the surface, and so can Rojo.
Yeah, this is getting to be pretty mundane at this point. The third time I do this, so yeah, I get to the surface, look to my right.
Thank you, my boy.
Okay.
I am. Yes. I was sure I was a goner there. I'd been down there for, heavens knows how many hours. I was sure my spell was about to end any moment now.
Oh, thankfully it didn't. Seems like your clerical magics have their uses as well sometimes.
Oh yes, they sure do. I'm so happy I prepared that spell this morning.
Yeah, preparing spells, very good. Can you get yourself to this, back to the
Yes.
ghost, or?
Well, you know,
You can.
preparing.
Well, maybe. It's much more difficult for us anyways, but yeah. Can you get yourself back to the shore, or do you need help?
Well, with this, I suppose I just he treads some water, you know, kicks it up and down, moves like very slowly a bit, and says,
Yeah.
I believe so, yes, I should be able to make it.
Just don't let go.
Uh-oh.
That's my tip for you.
Well, I'm sure you'll be there to save me if I, you know, do let go for some reason.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. All right, on you go. We have some more things to do down there. We have limited time.
Very well. All right. And he holds on to, you know, the wooded beam, like, hugs it pretty much, and just starts, like, you know, kicking the water.
I watch for like a few minutes to see how stable it looks.
He seems to be doing fine. I mean, he's holding on and he's moving like very slowly, but surely.
After a few minutes, I just okay, he's fine, and dive back down.
Mhm.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna like go to the stone where he was trapped in and just like poke it. It's just normal stone, right?
Just looks like normal stone. It's almost like he was like standing inside it and then just kind of slipped
Yeah.
out like a ghost almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking me out. I don't know. I don't understand what was going on there. It's like investigating that until we move on to, I guess, save some books.
Well, that is the question when Galashar arrives back.
Gazad is singing. He's not even mumming anymore because he can just do it underwater. So he's just singing Under the Sea out loud.
I
But it's
think
just
during this time, Shala knows that they're moving on from this spot, perhaps this library. She's gonna clamber up into the temple and try to stuff as many of the like notable personal things that may have been left behind by Rojo and Raja, like metallic figures or like divine iconography that they're known for using and things like this, just so that way they could reclaim it. They don't have to go swim down here themselves and
Yeah,
grab
sure. It's
because they probably don't have anything. They got kind of screwed, right?
yeah, it's probably most. I mean, a good chunk of the stuff here is like not waterproof, so it's probably just been like damaged beyond repair. But you can take some of the stuff that's been left behind that isn't like is waterproof, as you said, like metals and wood and stuff like that. Maybe like some
Figurines and symbols.
Yeah,
and
like maybe some
moments,
spell components, stuff like that. Clerics have a lot of very weird spell components.
I'm just shoveling it all into my bag. I'll give it to him when I get back.
Sure.
Yeah. When I see Shala doing this, I'm gonna look around for either a box that survived, like valuables, things that are actually valuable, monetary worth, like either like a donation box or like holy symbolry or like something that looks like it's valuable.
Oh yeah, is there an
Worth
alms
money.
box in here?
Yeah, that too. I'm gonna look around for that.
Sure.
I think that would be part of the search
Yeah,
for
maybe, but
the
I will be
belongings and all
selectively,
that,
yeah, specifically looking for that. So while you're picking up like some like maybe holy thing made out of wood, like some spell components, I'm strictly looking for treasure.
Sure. Give me a give me a perception check.
All right, I'm giving myself inspiration on this one.
All right.
Fucking hate inspiration. Why did we go back to this shit system every time?
Well, Shala, you're not necessarily looking specifically for the donation box, but you're looking for other things. Why don't you give me a perception check as well?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You happen to see the donation box. I don't know if you pay too much attention to it, but you see it. You know where it is. Actually, now that I think about it, you would even know where it is. Kazan's kind of like looking for it, but you like kind of even know where it is, and you see it like, oh, it's over there. Okay.
I've probably collected alms for the service, and then I go put it away and do that stuff with them. So I'll grab it, and I'll tuck that away too.
All right. Kazan, you probably see Shala take it.
Yeah, I look over. I give a thumbs up.
I keep looking for other valuable things because I rolled a 9, but my character doesn't realize that.
All right. Well, the church. I mean, apart from the donation box, and probably like I don't know the spell components that Shala took. I don't think there is really anything else valuable here.
Unfortunate.
Do we want to stop and do the library next time, or is it just kind of a hand wavy thing?
Do you guys want to go to the library?
I
Yeah,
have
we
to go
said we
back to
would.
my own house as well, so maybe we do it next time.
Yeah, I got about 10 minutes.
I was being a
Under the
smart
sea.
fucking wizard and I left my spellbook at home.
Oh no.
Wait, you left it?
Yes!
Oh,
no!
Oh, no.
That's a good one.
Oh no!
Oh no,
This is-
Imagine
no,
losing
this
your
is-
starter
this is
spell
good.
book immediately.
that is a fucking good one. Tyke.
You know what that means? We're gonna have to go to the conclave in the city and try to get you a fucking starter spell book, my boy.
You fucking spellbook.
You better be
No,
ready
I'm
to
sure
set
it's
some
fine. They're
conclave,
made to
Dick.
be waterproof,
I think
right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah,
meant to be-
waterproof, not rock proof. So
Yeah.
depending on how fucked your house is, my guy.
Yeah, I know. That's why people
Yeah,
first. I know
like,
that people
more
have
like
been
they're
saved.
water resistant.
They-
Yeah.
I think that might be the the any percent world record of how to lose your starter spell book.
Lost it in the opening cutscene.
It's fine. It's gonna be okay, surely.
Surely.
It was a part of your story, surely.
Surely.
Not
This
even the
was-
opening
It's all
cutscene.
planned.
Lost
I
in
mean,
the
what kind of
tutorial.
wizard would take his spellbook into a fucking dangerous?
That
like,
is a
doom
good point.
station?
It's pretty fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's much safer back home.
All right, yeah, we can end here and
Good.
continue next time.
Ooh.
Please tell me you don't fuck me that here.
You fucked yourself by being
Alright.
too smart. We're all good.
How many people did we save? We saved
1, 2, 3 so far.
three people. Huh? That's pretty.
I
good.
saved 3 people, not we.
Did you know where my sister was?
You can take
I don't think so.
well,
Well,
50 experience, Taiki, for the water skin trick because I think that
Alright.
Can I take
Right.
partial? Because I gave him the idea.
Yeah, he gave me the inspiration for it with the thing, and then I decided water skin is just easier.
all right. You
Yeah.
can both take 30 then. That's
Very good.
We can split it.
Any percent dupe glitch.
all right. You can all take. We'll just round it up to 200 experience.
Level up under the
Level
sea.
3. Under the
Ding, ding,
sea.
ding.
Downwards better. Downwards better. Yeah, while I was down here, I reflected on my time with Johnny the Toad, and I have now joined the Bard College.
Okay, please,
You know-
please be merciful.
If I'd just been able to get a better grip, I might have been able to make it out.
Ooh, maybe that's because your spellbook absorbed all the hit points. Maybe I'm just hypothetically.
I'm actually at minimum hit points again at level 3.
Oh, oh, we keep going, but alright, yeah.
Guys, you gotta stop.
What's going on?
Alright, come on. As long as it hoe roll. No.
Oh, bro.
Oh, that's
HP roll.
good.
Rolling for hose. All right.
Oh yeah, maximum hoeage.
Oh, very nice.
Alright, great.
Very good.
We're
I'm
gonna
just
see
gonna
Dale's
play.
7 hose.
Good.
He's gonna be a god. He's gonna be at like 35 HP or something at level 3.
Surely he won't be at 28.
Oof.
Ooh, no, that's
Ah,
decent. That's not
that's
even including your
bad.
con
Actually, wait,
mod.
no, that rolled an 8. It didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was rolling just the
No.
the added. So no, that's plus 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
35.
The
Mhm.
beef.
good. Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
a
mean,
thick
Dale,
gnome right
Dale's
there.
HP is probably the most important HP pull out of this
Yeah,
party.
probably.
I mean, I would like to not get one shot at level 5 and I have 16 HP,
Hey,
okay?
you guys have you guys you've added your
Listen,
HP.
just
Like, have
gotta
you added your
don't
HP?
Stop rolling that once. It's that easy.
Mhm. Just that easy.
Thank God, Johnny.
Have you tried being
didn't
an
go for me
abjuration
there,
wizard?
man.
Hypothetically. Cast shield, get temporary HP.
True.
Yep.